Starting some more volume. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chris. Back at it again.
Back at it again with another one.
And on the other screen, we got our other host, Gabe.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Unlaced podcast.
What up?
Episode 17.
Is it?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So we're getting there.
That's tight.
I had to go through and change all the numbers because I miscounted going up. So we're on episode 17. I am your host, Chris. On the other screen, we have Gabe.
What up?
I
got a new environment today. Look at this.
Yeah, you got
some better lighting.
Feng shui.
Yeah, yo.
Thank you to everybody that's watching, everybody that's listening. Make sure you guys can make sure that you guys find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. If you guys listen to your podcast, but if you guys watch a podcast, you're already in the right place because you're watching on YouTube or you're watching on our website at www.unlaced.family. So, just let y'all know. Just let y'all know where y'all can find us.
That's a clever domain right there.
You know. I wonder who thought that up.
I don't know, man. GoDaddy.
Duh.
Does GoDaddy, bro.
Just saying, somebody gets credit. Just letting you know, somebody gets credit over there.
Snap! Wait, hold on. You're pointing.
Wait, am I pointing the wrong way?
Yeah,
Somebody's
you are
getting credit.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. Once
you're usually on the right side, and I'm usually on the left side.
Am I? I'm on the. I'm always on the right side, right?
Yeah, you're on the right. I'm on the left.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. So make sure you guys check us out on our website. We still have limited stock in our Unlaced Friends and Family tees.
Yeah.
We also have our Unlaced
hats. With the hats as well, bro. They're low key. They're low key sales. Like
a lot of people have been seeing them. I've been wearing mine a lot. I wear mine backwards because of my glasses. But if you guys definitely want to check that out, we have a black one, as you can see, as well as a tiger camo one. And definitely go check it out. Link.
We had some sales today, actually.
We did?
For Father's Day. Just the hat, just the hat.
That's how you do it. Set your fathers up. Happy Father's Day. Like you said, happy Father's Day. We're shooting this on Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers that don't know their fathers today. Happy Father's Day to the women that are playing mom and dad.
Yes, sir.
I'm still wondering if I have some kids floating around there. I don't know. You never know. It could be like that Quagmire episode where he goes into the school and he sees his kid. He sees you know. And
I mean, what are you gonna see? Chris, a little 3-year-old with a beard, and then you're gonna be, oh, that's my son. Like, what the hell?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this: when you guys see me pop up with, I'm gonna let you guys know when I have a kid.
Yeah,
always gonna be a guest. It's always gonna be a guest. Just let you know. Just hope you guys know that. But yeah, so happy Father's Day to everybody.
Toddler edition.
Yeah,
we're gonna have a Unlaced Kids Bop.
Yeah, we're gonna bring Liv in here. We're bringing everybody. So shout out to Jeremy and Mia, Liv. Shout out to Manny and Christina, Crystal. Shout out, who else am I missing that has a kid? Oh, shout out my cousin Jamal. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You're making me look like a real bad friend right now.
Why?
Because I'm trying to think damn, dude, Chris is going ham right now. Who am I gonna shout out? Like, what?
You gotta understand. I run through them and I forget that some of my friends have kids. I almost forgot my own actual cousin Jamal has 3. So I'm I keep forgetting. Oh wait, 2. See, look, now I look like a bad cousin because I don't even know I think he has 3.
Yo, that's on you, bro.
I think he has 3.
That's on you.
No, 3 little girls, 2 or 2 little girls, one or the other. Jamal, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I don't.
Jesus.
I'm a terrible cousin.
Yeah,
I'm a terrible cousin. I apologize. Nah, cause
We need
well,
some,
cause
yo, we need some ad libs, bro. We need some buttons where we can just
man,
hit the ad libs because
me. The funny thing is, he lives in Oakland, so I gotta visit him soon. If he's listening to this, I know I think he watches when he gets a chance because I know he's really busy. But definitely, I
you're
apologize,
not,
Jamal.
you're not making
Um,
your case any better.
I know, right? So make sure, uh, give them a kiss for me.
Mhm.
Am I forgetting anybody else that has a kid?
I'm sure you are, bro.
I'm 100% sure I am.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I am. I'm trying to think.
Most deaf.
I don't think I have anybody else. I don't think anybody like personally that like. Well, I'm pretty sure people personally, but Mark Haynes, shout out him. He has a son. I know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, there's other people. I just can't remember off the top of my head like that. But yeah, shout out to all the dads out there.
Straight up.
Yeah, shout out to Gabe. I know he
Hey,
has some kids.
I'm not a father. All right.
Are we
I
sure?
you know I got some people that look up to me,
Mm,
and
there you
I
go.
call them my sons, but
Hmm.
I'm not a father. Mm-mm.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. But anyways, welcome to the episode.
What up? What up?
How you been?
I'm good, man. Um, life is cool, bro.
Mm,
Life is cool. Life is actually funny, man. The way things work out. I had all this time off right from work,
yeah.
and I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna work on shoes. I'm gonna buy all this new equipment. I'm gonna buy all these new, just new everything,
Mm,
new more paints, more brushes,
yeah.
just all the little things." And then my compressor literally took 5 weeks to get here.
Mm,
I ordered it through one company, and off top they were like, "Oh, 2 weeks delay," and I was fine with 2 weeks. And then better yet, they haven't even canceled my order yet. They still charge me for it. I got to get on the phone after this.
see.
And then Amazon was delayed when I ordered through them too. So, long story short, by the time I got them, or by the time I got the compressor this past weekend, um, I no longer have that free time again. Like I've been interviewing all week
Hmm.
to get back to work. So
Yeah.
um, it's looking like I'm going to get a new job or retain my job
Mm,
while all of a sudden having to balance all the work on kicks.
yeah.
But it is what it is, bro. I'm excited for it.
We're doing it for you guys. You see this?
Yeah,
See,
man. I
Gabe's
had
breaking his back for you guys. Come on.
I had 2 months off from work, dude. So I'm just trying to get back to really just not being bored and keeping myself
Yeah.
from going crazy.
Yeah. That's the most you can do.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to find things to add. Like we've been talking about like trying to add things, trying to do things just to kind of like do more.
Mm-hmm.
Because it kind of just as soon as the episode's over and it's out, it's kind of just like, all right,
Mm-hmm.
wait till the next one kind of thing. So yeah, I'm kind of feel the same way. Um, I've been back and forth with I've been talking to so much customer service this week,
Yeah.
because we were I was shopping our podcast host sites to get us for our for like Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all that. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the places that I looked into charged me $10 the for the service, and I'm like, wait, time out. I did not did not sign up for a subscription. Thank you
No
very much.
sir.
And so it took them 3 days to respond, and then even in that 3 days, they sent me back a copy and paste response. So I'm kind of upset about that.
Uh,
I've been the same thing with banks. Like I've been having issues with like getting copy and paste replies. Like, no, you guys need to speak to me. Like there's
yeah.
an issue that's going on.
No,
So
you gotta hit him up on the contact us, bro, on the app. That's usually
I
how
do.
I get that quick response.
They always hit the they like so like what the podcast hosting site that we're on now,
Mm-hmm.
it takes them 2 days to respond
Mm-hmm.
because they're whatever, because most of the people are working from home. Because when I'm calling them and I'm hearing them, it sounds like they're waking up out of bed, and it's
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh no, they're working from home. Their number is just connected now to the customer
Yeah.
service line, and so it's just kind of like been a headache. So I'm trying to get it get it together. So hopefully by the end of this week we won't have this issue anymore, because I'm starting to get annoyed talking to people about this stuff. I just kind of want to go and be on its own. But yeah, so enough about my boring life in customer service.
Bro.
Into let's get into, let's see, what are we starting with? We're gonna be talking real spicy today, just so you guys
Ooh,
know.
I like
Um,
spice.
because I feel like we need to really get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do we want to talk about the hype or do we want to talk about the culture? Mm,
I'm gonna go with hype.
hype. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so let's start this off by saying that this episode is going to be heavily article based and not like a bunch of different articles, but there's going. Oh no, or do you want to do complex first? Wait, did Gabe freeze? We lost Gabe. See, as soon as I said complex, they froze. Mm-mm-mm. They're not ready. Not ready for it. They're trying to keep. They're trying to keep us down. Complex new. Complex new. Hold on. Let's get Gabe back here. Hold on. Let's get Gabe back. Okay, we are back. Technical difficulties. Uh,
That should be a blooper.
yeah. So, do we want to talk? So, I'm asking again. Do we want to talk
Again.
hype,
Mm-hmm.
culture, or complex?
Oh, well, I'm gonna go stick to my original answer and go with hype.
Hype. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with hype then. Okay. So, uh, the reason why these are all kind of, well, the two of them are kind of, or well, from the same person. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, we are going to be looking. There was an article that well, there was a lady that I followed.
Mm-hmm.
I found her through Simply Be on IG.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She had posted an article from a woman named.
Which your girl just liked my comment. But
Anyways, so I guess I need to start commenting then.
I mean, she asked.
She,
Of course, I'm gonna answer.
I'm just saying.
Click, 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 click.
Anyways, I prefer you not to comment on her post, please. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it. Um, but anyways, there's a woman by the name of Jazzaray Allen Lord. She is a writer. She is also in the sneaker community, like heavily. Um, and I just started following her, so I'm still learning about her as time goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I asked her if she wanted to join the show. We didn't get a response. So hopefully at some point she'll be able to get on the show and like actually like um, uh,
Give insight.
elaborate on
Yeah. Come
her
on. Yeah.
writing.
I got you, bro. I got you.
Yeah. Because I would really want to hear her thoughts and like what kind of spurred this, and like her latest article, her latest article, I know for a fact I knew what spurred just based off of the times and what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but uh, sorry. So she did a the article we're gonna start off with. And I'm not going to read the whole article because it's a long article. But it's
I think you could really just read the title and it
yeah,
would
that's
really
literally
give.
what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And so it's kicking facts, and the title is "The Sad Truth on Why It's Easier Than Ever to Buy Your Way into Sneaker Culture and Become a Sneakerhead."
Yes. By the way,
Yeah,
it's on Revolt.
yeah, it's
Like
on
that.
Revolt,
Yeah.
revolt.tv. I will be putting the links in the description, so you guys, if you guys want to read both articles to
Damn, that
completion, definitely
photo's
go
so
down
sick.
and like look at it. It's really insightful. I really
Mm-hmm.
liked her takes
It's a
on
good
it.
read. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really dope. And so the basically it's we've had this conversation before. We had this conversation in a previous episode with Yvette. We
Mm-hmm.
also had this conversation, I think, with. Do we have the conversation with Katori? Who's it? Who is it that we were talking? We were talking about Offset. I forgot who we had the
It
conversation
was
with though.
Gage, no?
Gage, was it Gage?
I think
It
it
could
was
have been.
Gage.
We talked about it multiple times on, but like we kind of
Oh
like
no, it
dabbled
was
in it.
it might have been D Nice. You know what
Oh,
we
it was
yeah
nice. Yeah.
yeah
So
yeah
okay.
yeah
So yeah, if you guys want to check out any of those past episodes,
yeah.
we talked, we touched on it, and it was only about Offset because
Mm-hmm.
I have my own reservations about Offset. With Yvette, we got into a little
Oh,
bit more
Offset.
detailed
We need
about it
buttons
with
and
like
ad
J
libs.
Khaled and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but like the conversation itself is still a very valid conversation. Is can you buy your way into the sneaker culture and make yourself a prominent factor in the
Mm-hmm.
sneaker culture?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the resounding answer would be yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I think so too.
I think it would be. I think the answer itself is kind of the. So I'm gonna ask a question later that I want to. That's kind of where I want to figure out. But
Mm-hmm.
overall, I'm gonna read one paragraph. I'm gonna read one paragraph from the
Uh,
article just so
Here
that
we
you guys
go.
can get an idea of what this come to, and then we'll get to actual detailed stuff.
Let's
So
see if
studies
Chris
show
can
that over
read.
the past shut up. Studies show that over the past few decades, sneakers have transformed from being a community signifier to being a crucial ingredient in defining your status. Instead of being linked with sports, hip hop, music, and urban culture in 2020, sneakers surpassing luxury handbags are the newest marker of wealth, status, and all things cool. So there's a lot of great paragraphs in here.
That's all you need right there.
She talks Travis Scott, Virgil collabs and like the
Mm-hmm.
hype over those.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think that paragraph I kind of is what I want like the whole conversation to be about because I think we live in that time now where
Yeah.
the kid that has the family that has disposable income and has the connections to be able to buy whatever shoes that they want. We've seen it personally. I don't know if you were at Equivalence when that dad had came in
Oh
and
yeah,
he was
dude.
buying
I
his
was
son
there.
shoes. But yeah, it's like
Dude, he man, my lord.
if we could have got that on tape, that would have been the greatest thing ever. But the we have seen over the past 2 years, and it was very quick. And I
Mm-hmm.
wish I really want to try to figure out where that the turning of the tide happened. But there was a point where it just became, if you can get your hands on something that was limited, a exclusive collab,
Mm-hmm.
a sample, anything, and do it, periodically, or even get multiples of something
Yeah.
that was exclusive, you became that person.
Oh
Like you
yeah.
became
Most
you
deaf.
without having any knowledge of anything, not having any type of background in it, just understanding, oh, there's money to be made here. So let
Mm-hmm.
me, go into
Sneakers.
reselling, or let me just get into the sneaker community and just welcome with open arms.
Mm-hmm.
And so we see it the most with celebrities. Most notably, I always talk about Offset because I feel like Offset, um,
He's the latest and greatest
the latest and greatest
to do so.
of the out of nowhere now his say in sneakers matters, and I never thought we'd get to that point, especially Offset of all people. But
I
previous to
mean,
that was DJ Khaled,
uh-huh.
and I, from what I understand, DJ Khaled is somebody that was into sneakers and had somewhat of a background in sneakers,
Mm-hmm.
but he became what, and you guys can take it for what it is. I feel like he became what Fat Joe should be in a sneaker culture.
Or should have been.
Should have been, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I can
Because
see that.
if you think about it, like Fat Joe is somebody that everybody knows is in like a true sneakerhead. He's into it. Yes, he makes a lot of money. Yes, he is a rapper. Yes, he all, but at the same time, he can sit down and have those conversations. If you ever seen him sit down with like Mayor and Complex and sit down with all these different like the perfect pair.
What show was that when he licked those sevens? That was an old ass show, right?
Yeah,
That used to
yeah.
be on was that an ESPN show with
Fuck, what
Bob?
was that?
Because it was with Bobito Garcia, wasn't it?
I'm trying to remember. Sheesh. I remember the clip. I don't remember the show though.
Yeah, and I'm trying to
I
think
remember the
like,
clip because that
yeah,
they used that clip
because
for that's
that's
what
what the
was used for a
but
while.
that show, that's what they did. They went around and
Mhm,
they got, insight and and like looked
mhm.
at
Yeah,
celebrities' collections.
yeah. And he was, and that was that for me. It made me realize
That
how
moment made him go.
serious Fat Joe was
Mm-hmm.
was
Mm-hmm.
about shoes, and I think it sucks that like he still gets his respect, he still gets his flowers. You still see him on panels and everything like
Mm-hmm.
that, but I feel like he doesn't get the same as a DJ Khaled gets,
Uh-huh.
who gets a Foot Locker sponsorship deal and gets a part of his house turned into a Foot Locker or whatever they did, and he does the whole like video of like, oh, let's go shopping with DJ Khaled, and he's like in his backyard at like in a guest house that's turned into a sneaker store or whatever. um and then you see the same thing with Offset goes
Mm-hmm.
on the complex, and he does, he of course, like, we get it, he was dropping the album around that time, and because at the time when we talked about it, we didn't know if he
Yeah.
was dropping music or something like that, and then come to find out he's dropping a whole album, so that was why he was doing his little media tour. But
Mm-hmm.
then he's at Complex Con, he's in the Travis Scott family, friends and family sixes and all, like, and so it's just kind of like, where why how why is it that, and I don't want to say people like us because I feel like that's putting us on a too much high of a pedestal. But why do people in the community
Hey,
that are similar to
we might
us,
be on that pedestal.
maybe, but why do we let things like this happen, and why is this being accepted when when you see it in all other different hobbies of sense of like, if you're not truly about it, they're not going to let you just kind of come in and just, yeah, here have
Mm-hmm.
your sit down with the greats of the culture and rub elbows like you've been here before and know what
Mm-hmm.
it's like, and
Mm-hmm.
don't.
Um, I think like a lot of people don't want to be the gatekeeper, right? So and
Mhm.
that's like something that we loosely throw out.
Yeah.
Um, for whatever reason, they just don't want to be that person. For one, I kind of enjoy being that person.
Yeah.
I like when people throw that at me because it's just it's not. I don't mean these things personally, but a
Mhm.
lot of the times it's experience talking. Like,
Yeah.
not to say I have more experience, but it's the things that I have experienced to obtain a shoe, or to know that I went 5 to 10 years really wanting a shoe.
Mhm.
Like, I really really wanted a pair of bread ones,
Yeah.
and that took me like 6 years into collecting for me to finally have my first ever pair,
Yeah.
which wasn't even the one I wanted. Like, I hated the one that I had because it had a Jumpman on it, and it had
Yeah.
no Nike Air, and I hated it. But
Yeah.
I had one, I guess. But in terms of like allowing it, I think it's just like, I think it's because being rich and having money and buying yourself into this hobby is something anyone can do, not
Mhm.
necessarily just a celebrity.
Yeah.
Anyone who has money can do it. So I think there's more people that can do it than can't do it.
Mhm.
So obviously these people that can just are going to sound and seem louder and bigger than the people who can't,
Yeah.
and they're just not, they'll never win.
But why let that? Because then, okay, so like,
I
just to
think
jump
it I
forward,
on
like,
maybe
why don't
honestly,
we have
bro,
gatekeepers?
I think it's because of, or not because, but social media plays a big part,
Yeah.
a heavy part. Because you you can buy your way into shoes, and that is now an investment that is not just shoes. Like, if you're trying to become an influencer or of
Yeah.
some sort, or if you're trying to get your followers up, like buying shoes will do that for you.
Yeah.
Like you are now someone worth following just because people want to see that you actually wear these $2,000 shoes or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think like the those little things like that make it acceptable,
Yeah.
and maybe that's why people enjoy seeing, or not subconsciously enjoy seeing these people have all these shoes, because it's just a flex and they're able to just see actual people wearing them or whatever, and they just enjoy that. They like hitting the likes, and that's all it is to them.
But why not? There's other people that can do that though. Like so, I think that's pretty much like the overall question is like, why don't we have gay? Like, because I know I've been on the show and
Mm-hmm.
said that I don't like the gatekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, but I didn't like the gatekeeping when it was bullying, when it
Okay.
was just trying to be like, oh well, because
Keep
I'm
people out.
older,
Yeah.
you can't possibly be into the sneaker code. Like you can't possibly know about shoes because
Okay, that makes sense.
you weren't in the hood buying uh pro kids with us when we were like that. That's bullying. Like
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't born the same year that you were born, so of course I'm not going to have the same experiences that you had when it came to
Mm-hmm.
shoes. I can
Okay.
only adapt to what my generation did, and our generation was camping out, and
Mm-hmm.
our generation was the Jordan 11s and the 5s and all that stuff, like and the 7s, like the different 7s that used to drop us like that. So I
I
can't be like, yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I like ones just to be
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I want you guys to like me. No,
Mm-hmm.
I've said it before. I'm not a ones fan. I'm not a
Mm-hmm.
Yeezy fan at all. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not because I just want to be different. I've never liked the shoe. It was never
Mm-hmm.
like Nike Yeezy or Adidas Yeezy. Like I've never been a fan.
I
But there are
think.
people that do that just to be able to say, "Hey, I do this," so
Mm-hmm.
that people can give them a pat on the back and
Mm-hmm.
say, "Oh yeah, welcome to the club. Here's your flowers. This is how you do your social media, and here are the people that you need to talk to and rub elbows
Okay.
with to further your career or whatever."
I think I got two. I think now I have two better, more thorough reasons.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so one, where we are now with being an individual who's into shoes,
Mhm.
I would think that the majority of the people that make us up are younger kids now.
Yeah.
Um, not like, for whatever reason, just shoes has reached so many younger kids.
Mhm.
And it's no longer just a niche thing, hobby, like it was for us growing up.
Yeah.
So now there's kids that are legit starting and buying into sneakers at a younger age.
Mhm.
So they're starting on a different level. That's just
Yeah.
what it is. But I think that different level is becoming more and more normalized. Like more and more kids are just buying shoes without really knowing.
Okay.
And it's,
Can I stop you there right there with that one?
what
Then
up?
okay. Okay. So I get that makes sense because
Mm-hmm.
it's literally my excuse on why I hated the gatekeepers when I was coming up. So
Yeah.
I understand. Like I don't want to be that guy that says kids can't be into shoes
Mm-hmm.
because no, you can be into
No, I'm
shoes.
not. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we can't. I'm not.
No. No.
Hold
No.
up.
Yeah.
Time
No.
out.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying
Yeah.
gatekeepers can't tell these kids right from wrong.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, so many kids are entering one room at the same time that all of those kids have the same opinion.
Hmm.
So no one within is starting to say, well, you can't. No one within that group
Hmm.
has the gatekeeper mentality.
Okay.
So already off top, they're already starting completely different than we ever did. So which brings me to my second point. For there to be um gatekeepers
Hmm.
that have a voice where people listen, you have to reach a certain pedestal.
Hmm.
And I think the people that we have, like Franelations, the Perfect Pair, Kixology, even here in Pasadena, what's Homeboy? Um, that hangs out with Skate and all them as well. Uh, we were going to reach out to him to be a guest.
Oh, I forgot
I'll
his name.
point him.
Yeah.
You can't be a gatekeeper or a gatekeeper that can have a voiceable opinion until you reach a certain level.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that once most of these people who have the opportunity to be a gatekeeper gets that level, they don't care anymore. It's just like they're yeah, they wanted to preach
Mm-hmm.
that mentality and that information
Mm-hmm.
and all of that as they were climbing the ladder because the experience shaped them to be that type of person.
Mm-hmm.
But then once they finally got that platform where they became influencers,
Mm-hmm.
they don't really care anymore because at that point they feel like they would be less influential speaking the real. Less
Yeah.
people would listen to them, less people would want to follow them, less people would, just less of everything.
But why? But why not? I get it. Like, you don't want to come off as a like, because my biggest thing is, like, I don't like, I half the stuff that goes on in the world I don't care about. If it's not happening to me, I don't really care. Like, like, I'm not here to, if somebody's walking by with fake Jordans on or whatever, like, I don't care enough to like mention it or to
Mm-hmm.
laugh at it or to even
Mm-hmm.
think about it for more than the fact that it's like, oh, those are fake. Okay, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I'm off of it at the end of that, after, by the time he's out of my sight,
Yeah.
because I don't care. It's,
Yeah.
if that's what you decided to rock that day, that's what you decided to rock that day. But I do, and I think that that's, like you said, like, you make a great point. I think once people got to a certain point, like Kixology is one of them that she's very outspoken, but
Yeah,
I
she
don't think
is.
she's not outspoken to the point where
It
she,
hinders
yeah,
her.
yeah, it doesn't,
Yeah.
like I think
And
maybe a
I
few
mean,
years before she was, but now I think she's an adult, she's grown, she doesn't give a
what
shit.
without getting like mad political and things of
Yeah.
that nature, I also think the flexibility of her voice
Hmm.
has a lot to do with her being a female.
Okay.
I think if she were a male, if
Hmm.
we were talking about a male Kixology somewhere out there
Hmm.
in an alternate universe, he wouldn't have the backing
Hmm.
the way she does. When she speaks out, people listen, and a lot of people agree with her, and a lot of
Yeah.
people don't. But the people that don't really say anything.
Yeah. But I think also
Um,
with Kixology, she has a following that pretty much everybody just is a fan of
no,
her.
yeah, of
And
course.
yeah, and like, I don't think like, I've never seen her post anything and people disagree. like, I don't think she's ever, like, even with like her hard stance on stuff, I don't think I've ever seen her post something and people are like, you're wrong. It's always, actually, yeah, you're right. Like,
Oh
crap,
yeah,
you're right.
that's what I'm saying. Most people like follow her for her, and
Mm-hmm.
they agree on many levels of whatever the topic or the subject.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. If people don't agree with her, either they won't say anything, or the people that do agree with her will shut them out.
Yeah. Um, while you were saying that, I was trying to think of like who would be a good gatekeeper, but I don't think that he would care. You would be a good gatekeeper because,
I'm over
yeah,
here like,
you'd be great. You'd be a great one.
yeah,
But
I'm
who
chilling.
I was thinking was, I think Skate would be a great gatekeeper. He
I
seems like
think
he could play the role really well.
I think he I think he plays it the most.
Yeah.
He plays it the most without people really realizing that he's throwing mad shade a lot of the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think if we're going to give it to anyone, it'd probably be him.
I would hate to be the one he screenshots in the DMs when he would like sell shit and he would like
Mm-hmm.
screenshot it and put it on his like, I would
Mm-hmm.
hate to be the guy like, oh wait, that's my message.
Well, that's why you just
That was scary. I'd be
don't
like,
hop in
fuck.
those DMs, man.
No, bro, that's exactly why I don't hop in those
Uh,
DMs, because I don't want to get into DMs and then realize that it's like, actually, now I'm actually good, because I'm scared he's going to screenshot and be like, look at this guy. It's wasting my time.
look at this
Only
bozo.
serious inquiries, please.
Oh no, I don't.
I don't need the tornado of comments to come into my onto my page, because I will
Like
sit up all night and
I could
respond to
already
all of them.
see it, dude. The DM says, "Yo, Skate, would you see yourself to ever have time to, something general like that?
Yeah.
Be a guest on the podcast." And then I could already see it be a screenshot and be like, "No, I don't want to join your fucking
Nobody wants
podcast."
to join your beginner ass
Yeah,
podcast. The fuck?
yeah, exactly.
I would be like,
I damn.
I'll start taking
And you
down
can't even,
logos to make
and
sure
you, yeah,
nobody knows it's
exactly.
us.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you
like,
can't even deny that it's you because,
what? Unlaced?
yeah,
Yeah, they said, yeah. Who are they? They're trash.
who,
Have you
yeah,
seen their
who,
show?
it's the Dookie Laced podcast. That's,
Who you guys think you guys are?
yeah,
You
who's
guys aren't
that?
camping out. You guys are camping out
Yeah.
in front of Supreme with us. How dare you? Yeah.
No,
Nah,
no, not Supreme. Maybe other stores, but not Supreme.
not Supreme. Nah.
No.
I never saw the like. Like there was never a point where I was like, I should probably go to one of those drops.
I almost did.
Nah.
Almost did one drop, and I'm glad I didn't because it turned out to be a shit show.
After what they did to the Tiffany kid and turned him into a meme.
I mean, but that was like that picture was taken in 2003, bro.
I
Like
know,
he
but
didn't become a meme until 2013, like 10 years
like
later.
once because again, 2003, how was I, 13? So I didn't even know, I didn't know Melrose, Fairfax, any of those places existed. Yeah. like I didn't know about like Diamond Supply, and like they were all next to each other until my junior year. One of my friends from high school,
Y'all
he was
rocked
a
out there or
senior.
what?
No, he was a senior, and so I thought he was the coolest kid. Like he used to always, because he used to always have uh shit. What's that brand? What's that brand? Damn, I forget the brand already. I just draw a blank. The brand they used to have the MLB hats with the logos upside down.
Okay. I remember. I don't remember.
I forgot the fucking name, but
I
they
don't
had a
remember.
store there, and he had a bunch of their hats, and I was like, "Oh, those hats are so cool!" Yeah. And so I was like, "Where'd you get them?" He was like, "Oh yeah, there's this place," and I was like,
damn,
I
I
wish
gotta
I could
figure
go.
that out. Now
And
it's
he
in
was
my
like,
head.
I really wish I could remember. And he was like, "Oh yeah," he was like, "Yeah, I'm going this weekend. Do you want to go?" And I'm like, well, I'm a junior. I don't have a car. Like he's like, oh, "Bro, I have a car. Like you want to ride out there with me?" And so I spent a whole 2 days begging my mom to let me go with some kid from high school to drive me to LA so I could buy a hat. And the hat was like $30.
I
$40.
googled this stuff. This Google search took me to Etsy.
Nah.
Yeah, it ain't Etsy.
I forgot what I wish I remembered. So many brands now do upside down
But
logos.
it was a very short-lived brand, right? It wasn't long. Yeah, it wasn't around for long.
They were there for a while, and then they just disappeared. I don't know if they're still in business. I hope they are, and I hope because they are. I probably would go back and get another hat because the hat was dope. But I remember he drove me. We drove out there, and I remember I had like $50 in my pocket, like you know, and I'm like, all right, like I'm thinking the hat's gonna be like $20. Like, you know, I'm used to Pasadena, so like that's $20. Like we'd be good. Nah, I think it was like 40, and I was like, fuck, that's all my money. And yeah, literally, and got the hat. That was the only thing I bought. And then we went to Diamond, that was right next door, and I saw a wallet that I wanted, and it was, I think, 30. And he was like, "Yo, I'll front you the money to get that." Because he was super cool. Like he's a cool dude. He was like, "I'll front you money if you want that." And I'm like, "Nah, I'm good." Like I just couldn't. Like I was like, "You did enough. Like you drove me out here. Like we maybe had 4 conversations in school together, and like we used to comment on each other's shoes and stuff like that. And like he was, you know, he's this tall Asian dude. And, like he had like he style, you know, through the roof. And that was why I thought he was so cool. His driver's license, he had his hat on. And I was like, I want to go to the DMV to have my hat on my license, and I did, but it came like 10 years later. But I got my driver's license and I had my hat on. I talked to the lady, and I was like, I didn't get a haircut yet or like that. She was like, it's okay, just go ahead. And so she literally took my picture with my Angels hat on. And every time somebody saw my driver's license, they're like, how'd you do that? I was like, just let me. I was having a bad hair day.
Like, I just asked, you know.
I did. I just asked.
All you gotta do is ask sometimes.
Most of the time, all you gotta do is ask. I literally asked her, and she let me. She let me do it, and that was cool. I'm gonna see if I can do it again though.
Asking will sometimes take you further than you think.
You'll be surprised. But yeah, sorry, we got way off track. What was I saying? We were saying Skate being gatekeeper. Yeah, I think he would be a like he does in a passive way that I think a lot of people don't catch, and if you followed him for a long enough time, you'll start to see it.
You understand that's just how he is.
Yeah, but like I don't think like
if you follow him for a while,
his is a lot less than what I had to deal with coming up. Of like people like I said, like it felt bullying, and maybe I might have been sensitive,
I
but
think I
you know,
I was weird. I've never. It's crazy. I never really went through that phase where I was bullied or there was a gatekeeper like in my direct line to this culture of
mhm,
sneakers. Like I
mhm.
never really ran into that.
I ran into it once people started realizing I only bought Jordans. That was why I started running into a lot of like gatekeepers, because they would ask me about like dunks and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
or and like, oh, what Jordan ones do you have? And I'm like, I don't get Jordan ones, or I don't like dunks.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like, you don't like dunks. It
Oh,
was
you
like,
freaking
and then it
weirdo!
became like and then I would tell
Who
them
is
like,
this guy?
yeah, it'd be
Who is
like,
this guy?
who's this guy that doesn't buy ones and dunks? How dare you?
Who is this guy?
Um, but I didn't me personally, I just wasn't I never liked them. To this day
Mm-hmm.
I still am not, like, I like the look of them, but I'm not like gonna go out and buy them. But
Yeah.
when I was in high school and like part of my like the first part of my adult life, I only bought Jordans. And even when I
Yeah.
was a kid, I only wanted Jordans. And so a lot of people, when it's like, oh, you don't, I didn't know in middle school, I didn't know the difference between like the Air Max 95s and the Air Max 90s and all, like I didn't know any
It was
difference
one
of like,
dimensional,
yeah, I was
bro.
very one dimensional. And so I used to get a lot of people that would would be like, oh, well, you're not really into sneakers, and if you don't like Air Max, it's like, no, I just don't want to wear them. So why, like,
Mm-hmm.
it'd be like me, like, why would I go to school to be a doctor if I don't want to be a doctor? like I don't want to, like, I don't like, why would I learn about them if I don't want to, if I that's not what I want to do? And
Uh-huh.
so I learned about what I wanted to wear, and
Yeah.
that's always been my life. Like I've always only been into things that I personally am into, and it's never going to change.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, even with like the clothing line stuff, I tell you all the time, like I only know about stuff that I wear. So when you
It's
tell
very
me like,
true.
oh, we would do like we're gonna do this, I don't even know what you're talking about until you show me a picture of what it is. Like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
like that. That's cool, actually.
And
Yeah,
then a lot of times it's just like, bro, that's fire. Like
yeah,
that's it.
every single time. And so like
Yeah.
I'm not like, you might call it not being well rounded, but it's
Mm-hmm.
just I'm a very tunnel vision kind of person. And so I used to
Mm-hmm.
always get a lot of people that were older than me that would be like, oh, you don't like Air Max 95s? I'd be like, wait, are those, which ones are those? Like I'm trying to, like, in my head try to figure out which ones those are. And now like I'm into a lot more different shoes, and like just like if I'm into the way it looks, I'll learn about it. I'll, you know, I'll
Mm-hmm.
read up on it, it's like that. But I'm not just out here just trying to like learn about every single one drop, because like I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, just like the Yeezys, like you're gonna tell me more about when a Yeezy drops and the color and what it looks like than I'll ever know. Because
Yeah.
anybody that tells me, oh yo, a Yeezy's dropping, I'll be like,
Well,
okay.
yeah. No,
Hope you
I
get
think
it.
listening to you, I think that's really valid and kind of gives me more like insight in realizing that that's probably why it never really happened to me, because although yeah, my collection was 90% Jordan growing
Mhm,
up, like that's just that was my first thing that I knew really, and that's
mhm.
kind of what it really was for like the first 80% of that entire time. I was just nothing but Jordan boxes, nothing but
Yeah.
Jordan. My whole my whole collection at one point was just nothing but these
Yeah,
boxes.
exactly.
And like
Exactly.
now this is the only one I own. That's crazy, bro. This
Yeah.
is literally the only old, 2000 mid 2000s Jordan box that I own now.
I have one and I use it. I put like all my birthday cards and stuff like that in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, like that literally was my all my stacks are just those colors, but I was always into other shoes because there was so many shoes that I liked that I couldn't afford.
Yeah.
Um so that's kind of where like the like the angle of wanting to learn came from.
Mm.
But no, I guess that's kind of the difference maker right there. Was
Yeah.
literally we both were all about Jordans, but I just kind of read about shit that I liked
Yeah.
and you didn't, and
Yeah.
or I liked things I couldn't have and you
Mm.
had everything you liked. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
There
That's
you
the best way to
go.
put it. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. So then that's why I read into things and I didn't have that issue.
Yeah, because like my whole childhood, like we talked about it before, like my whole childhood was just going to East Bay and jumping to the Jordan section. I
Mhm.
didn't care about Nikes,
You
and
hear
like,
this? Y'all hear this spoiled guy?
yeah,
He said,
I just jumped to the Jordan page. Like that
look at
was the
him.
thing. I had the
Look
East
at him.
Bay. You know,
Look at
shout out, shout out to moms. Like, but like the East Bay subscription, I would go through, and it wasn't like every single time a subscription came out, I got a pair of shoes. It
Yeah.
was, it would be like maybe halfway through the year, I would get
Mm-hmm.
another pair, and
Mm-hmm.
then for the start of the school year, I would get two pair, and then
Okay.
maybe for my birthday, I might get one, maybe depending on if like a game was coming out or something like that. But it was just like me personally. Like if I would like my whole thing was when the East Bay, I wanted to see what shoes were dropping, so I would go to East
Mm-hmm.
Bay and just go straight to the
Mm-hmm.
George section, and then
Mm-hmm.
circle it and hope one day in a year that I would get them.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them I didn't get. Like yes, I was spoiled, but I wasn't like out here getting. She wasn't just
No,
dropping
I
shoes off
didn't
in front
throw
of my
that word
door every
out.
single week.
I didn't throw it out to like really call you spoiled, because as was I growing up, like
Mhm.
I yeah, I'll own up to it. In hindsight, I probably didn't own up to it as much,
Mhm.
but looking back on it, like, dude, I was hella spoiled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where like I think most people, like even for the people that grew up like our age that grew up with us, like that was kind of thing. The school year, you'll probably get 2-3 pair of shoes depending on what they were, and
Mm-hmm.
then maybe like halfway through the year you would get another pair because you wore out the pair for the beginning of the school year, and then
Mm-hmm.
your birthday you would get a pair of shoes. And so like that was me. Luckily, my birthday was on Christmas, so I got lucky in the sense of like
Yeah.
have like couple months into the school year, I probably gonna get another pair of shoes.
Yeah, because that literally lines up with Christmas and your birthday,
Yeah,
a couple of months
exactly,
into the school year. Yeah.
exactly. So, but yeah, that I think. But so sorry, like we always get off track. But I think I think that I think what the difference, and it's not like a time difference. I think like just genuine difference in
Mm-hmm.
today's generation and our generation and the generation
Mm-hmm.
before that was that we didn't look at it with a dollar sign.
Looking a little brown over here.
uh, we uh, we didn't look at shoes with a dollar sign
Mm-hmm.
attached to them. We knew how much they cost because we
Yeah.
wanted to convince our parents that 150 isn't that bad to spend on a pair of shoes.
Yeah.
But I think now today's kids, if you go to like if you see any like
That's a good point. That's a
promoted
real good
like
point.
pages, it's like that where they are doing clothing brands, all the shoes that they post like to promote their clothes are with
Yeah.
Off-Whites, Yeezys,
Mm-hmm.
Travis Scott's, some kind of like Balenciaga, like all these shoes that are very high priced or hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I think today's kids, they see this, and like you said, like they see what their friends are
They
doing. They
get
see
associated.
they see the circulation of like,
Damn, dude,
well,
that's a
people
hella
want to
good
see the
point.
Yeezys. And
Mm-hmm.
so what are the Yeezys? Oh, the Yeezys. Like I can walk up to a kid now, and you probably experienced too. Like I've had kids that where I'm wearing, at one point I was wearing my black Vapor Maxes.
Yeah. Yeah, you
And
told me this. Yeah.
yeah, and there was they had dropped in Off-White pair of black Vapor Maxes, and they're damn near look similar to the regular black Air Max. Like they're the same thing. It's just the tie and the tongue. It's like that. But for the
Mm-hmm.
most part, they kind of look similar. And a kid comes up to me and asks me, "Yo, are those Off-Whites?" And I'm like, "What?" Because at the time I didn't know if they had dropped an Off-White pair, so I'm just
Yeah.
kind of rocking them. And it's like, no, like what? And then
Oh,
when I
get
find out that's the same, well, yeah. But
get out of my
kids
face.
associate with like if I'm wearing some regular Hirachis, nobody's gonna
No,
gonna
I
say a
smell you on
word.
that one.
But
No.
if I'm rocking some cool grays or my
Mm-hmm.
Concords or something like that, it's immediately turning every little kid to, oh yeah, it's Concords. You can hear them whispering, like, because
Mm-hmm.
kids don't have volume control on their voice.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but like every kid now has a dollar sign attached to the shoe. So when they're not looking at, oh, I'm into that shoe. It's, oh, that shoe could probably make, that shoe is probably $1,500 resale if I can
Yeah.
get that. And they automatically assume that's 1,500 that they can get in their pocket when they get it, because
Yeah.
after they're going to wear it one time, or they're going to post it a bunch of times on their and recycle it on their social media a bunch of times so people know it, and then try to sell it.
No, I want to say this before I forget.
Mm-hmm.
To add on to what you said, and to really kind of give like another perspective,
Yeah.
maybe possibly more thoroughly to understand maybe why.
Mm-hmm.
But you said that this generation, these kids, they see like dollar signs behind a shoe.
Yeah.
And that's like it really stuck to me that you said that, because I'm thinking about like when I talk about a shoe to someone, I don't remember growing up and saying, yeah, this shoe cost me this much money and now it's worth this much money and yada yada yada. It was
Yeah.
always like, damn, I really wanted this shoe. I got the last one in the store. I'm wearing it, blah blah blah. Yeah, this is the Concord, or this is the Space Jam. You know, these used to be like that's the thing. I would always say like, oh yeah, these were blah 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 when I was growing up.
Yep.
And now I have them. Yada
Yeah.
yada yada. But now when people ask me about my shoes, 9 times out of 10, the conversation leads to how much were they and what are they worth.
Yep. We do it on this show, literally.
Yeah.
Like
No,
we
yeah.
literally have that conversation. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, that's crazy because that you're so fucking right. Like they really just look at a shoe and they just see money.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they may like it, but at the end of the day, it's like either are they trying to cop at retail to make a profit, or does this shoe make me look richer because it's worth $400, $500, whatever. Yeah, that's a really good point. Like I'm literally mind blown by just that little observation.
Yeah, and that's the I think that's what Jazz Ray, like she touches on it like really well in the article, and I really urge you guys to read both articles because they're great, like hands down great, like articles.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's really what it comes down to, and I think that's where, like, and granted, I understand that there are kids out there that look at a shoe and they just want it,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, there are kids that just automatically know, like they're preparing themselves to know, like this is how much it's going to cost, so I'm probably not going to get it, or this is how much that my parents are going to have to give up to get this shoe, or
this is how much I need if I don't get it at retail.
Exactly. And so, but it's like I see it more often. We've had this 3-4 years in a row of we did the Lace Them Up event, and I think I talked about this before, but I don't remember if I did. But there was these 4 kids that probably couldn't be over 14.
I probably know. I remember exactly what you're
You
talking
remember
about.
they literally made like 17
Yeah,
laps
and they were carrying their boxes, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were carrying Yeezy boxes, and they had a couple off whites, I believe. And that was all. It was literally, I think altogether they were carrying maybe had 5 or 6 boxes.
Yeah.
And all of them were just either Yeezy or off white. The off whites they had showing because they wanted to, show people.
Obviously.
Yeah. And so the Yeezys were in the box, all that stuff, all dead stock,
Yeah.
all that.
Damn, I sold my 4s that day and I regret it.
Yeah.
I regret it because now they're $400 now.
Yeah. I think that was
we
gotta go. This pandemic is in because we need to get to a convention, because there's a couple
I just want to eat
get
out. I just want to go to a restaurant. I want my ramen. I want my good food.
Go to a little Koreatown and get some ramen.
I just want to eat. Like,
man, my homegirl was like, "Oh, do you want to go get ramen? Since like places open up?" And I was like, "Is Little Koreatown open?" And she's like, or Koreatown. Sorry, I keep saying Little Koreatown. I don't know why I keep saying Little. And she was like, "Nah, I was talking about a place in Old Town, like whatever place is on." I'm like,
I don't want no carry out food.
No, because the restaurant was open. They serve ramen, but it's like it don't match up to, there's a spot over by Riff that
Daiko, the yellow one. Does it have a yellow storefront?
Nah, it's on the other side of the plaza, and it has like a black sheet covering the entrance.
Oh yeah, no. Wait, no, hold on. For ramen?
Mm-hmm. It's like it's no bigger than a bedroom.
Is it okay? Because I know there's one in there called Shabu Shabu, bruh. Man, that place is fire.
Bro, there's probably like 4 ramen places around there too.
Yeah, but Daiko Kuya is the best one. It's literally like 2 blocks before Riff. It's like up to the light, and then you make a right, and then I think it's on First.
Oh yeah, no. So like like right across the street that right
The
across the
plaza.
street from Rift, the plaza. On the
Mm-hmm.
other side of that plaza,
Mm-hmm.
on across that street, there's like a bunch of like small little restaurants, and there's
Mm-hmm.
one that has like a black curtain covering the front of it.
Mm-hmm.
That place I always go to. That's the place I always walk to if I want ramen.
You literally might be next door to Daiko or like somewhere in that
Probably,
area.
probably
Yeah.
most likely. Yeah,
You gotta
all
have
right.
Daiko, bro.
We gotta make it happen then.
Yeah.
Figure out when they open.
We
Yeah,
gotta go hit up Riff when Riff opens,
when Riff open,
and then
man.
I'm gonna, spend some money there and then go have some ramen.
Yeah. I say but I want to convince you because I want to be able to like come up on some sales.
I'm trying. Well, dude, you're going to come up on a steal just walking into Riff. Like,
True, very
there's
true.
because a lot of those prices, or not even. I mean, everything they do have online, but a lot of the times you're not going to take the time online and just pick out a shoe and look how much it costs. At the store, you can just bloop, 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 bloop. Oh
Yeah,
shit, I'm take it.
yeah. We need to do like an Unlaced like little shopping thing.
Well, I mean,
Just
we
us.
kind of, been inside for like 4 months,
Yeah, we gotta, we
3.
gotta,
Yeah.
yeah, we gotta do that though. We gotta do like a little, let's go shopping with Unlaced. Just
Yeah. Well,
wait, wait, is that trademarked?
no, it's just not gonna work because then our viewers are gonna realize how broke we are when we don't buy shit,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're gonna.
Don't watch this expecting us to drop like we're not getting 3 or 4 pair of shoes. If we're getting 3 or 4 pair of shoes, they all have to be marked at like $60,
Yeah, we are
$70.
we
Like
are Ross for that one.
yeah, like we might hit a van store. There's these floral vans that fire.
I cop
I
Vans.
need.
I
I
just donated
need.
all my Vans not too long ago, but I'll
Yeah.
restart.
If y'all see me, Ben's birthday is this coming up this weekend. Oh yeah, I don't
Oh
know what you're doing this
yeah.
weekend, but
Hey man, is there 6 feet in between everyone?
nah, not even close.
Damn, Ben's birthday last year was pretty lit.
What did Ben do for his birthday? Oh yeah, the little Airbnb.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We're doing it in Vegas this time now.
Like,
He
like.
he.
You,
Okay, I'm gonna
we're
tell you
gonna
how.
we're gonna reconvene this conversation.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Literally, just like it's a little short story. He literally he was like, "Yo, what do you guys want to do for the birthday?" We're like,
Mm-hmm.
"I don't know." He's like, "Get an Airbnb." We're like, "Yeah, sure." And so he was like, "All right, cool." And so then, like a couple days later, he's like, "How about Vegas?" And I'm like, and like nobody said anything in the group chat. And he was like, "I got an Airbnb. All y'all gotta do is just come and just have money to drink." We're like,
At the
all right.
so y'all like you guys looking to do the same as last year but in Vegas, or are you gonna be in Vegas and do Vegas like?
Nah, no, we're not doing Vegas. Like, nah, no, nobody got money for that. We ain't
Cause
doing Vegas.
cause I got the money, but I ain't trying to throw it at the Rona.
We're literally
At the
it's just
Rona.
gonna be. It's literally we're like me and Mike already talked about. We're getting a Fat Tuesday, and that's gonna have to hold. Like we're trying to maximize our alcohol level without going over. I think we put our budget at like $200. And that's including us being able to eat for ourselves.
Uh,
Yeah, we're
well,
not like
it's a possibility.
we're
I got nothing
not
else to
doing
do.
we're not doing clubs. We're not doing like
Ah,
all that stuff. We're literally kicking at this house and then walking around Vegas just to walk around Vegas. And it's the sun is out, so the buns is out.
hey, I might just be there, bro.
I'm just saying, just letting you know.
I mean, I got nothing else planned.
Right. But yeah, I think back
What's
to
good?
the
What's good?
conversation.
Yeah, I
But
know.
what we
You
were
guys want to come too? I guess.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
you
come through
pull up.
Vegas.
Pull up.
Yeah,
We you can't stay, but like you
yeah.
can't
I
stay with
can't
us.
stay.
Y'all gotta get your own spot, but y'all
True.
definitely have fun with us.
Yeah.
I think like we were saying, like there are kids that have like that like that are into shoes like that, but from what I've
Mm-hmm.
seen and like my personal experience with certain kids is they just are like they're just looking at a dollar sign saying this shoe is worth this much. If I have it, then I'm worth this much or whatever this shoe is worth. And people treat it that way. People
Yeah.
treat and even people that are legitimately into the culture and like into it and they just have the ability to get their hands on shoes,
Mm-hmm.
they are only treated as that shoe that they have. there are shoes that like, and you can see it in like the likes ratio when it comes to like an off-white shoe. Like you can like there's certain, you know, like of course there's certain people in the culture that can like live through the likes because they're, you know, it doesn't really matter. Like they're always gonna have a high number of likes. But you
Uh-huh.
could see it in certain people, like where it's like when Kixology posts like a random shoe that like a random dunk
Mm-hmm.
that she got from 2007 or whatever,
Yeah.
it's like, you know, she'll, you know, the people that really know
Let's
about
let's
that
see if,
shoe
let's see if I can bring up some numbers.
bring up them numbers.
Some quick numbers.
But like you'll see like, oh, 2,000 likes for an off-white
Uh
shoe, but
uh
1,000 likes for a regular dunk or some generally Jordans. Like that's that is it, and it shows. And I think a lot, and I think it's because kids will see that, like they'll go through the hashtags. Of course, the off-white will pop up on them for them. It's like that popular in their discovery page, and they only one of all the pages that are only showing off-white, Yeezy,
mm-hmm.
Travis Scott's, and like, oh, and that's it. Anything else, I don't know about it, so I don't care. And it does. I'm pretty sure it's not worth anything.
All right, I got
Because
one for you.
go ahead.
So here, oh, okay, dang. Okay, look. Here she didn't wear it, but she just posted a random dunk, right?
Mm-hmm.
From it didn't say the year. But as you can see, it's just like a GR dunk,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
900 likes.
Okay.
She's not wearing it though, by the way. That's
Yeah.
probably another factor.
Okay. Yo,
Now,
Kixology, can we get some more on feed pics, please? Because you was on
I
top
thought
of it.
I
It
thought
didn't
you was
suck.
about to say, "Can we get some more feet pics?" Like
Stop
just.
it. Stop it. Stop it. Nah.
And
Nah.
then, okay, now look on feet, off white Prestos, 2,500 likes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yep.
see,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It
it's
happens.
and then look, Dinosaur Juniors, 2,000 likes.
There you go.
Um, Tiffany Highs, 2,200 likes. Off whites. Well, this is probably the only one that probably doesn't match up, but these off whites only got 1,000.
Sheesh.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
But yeah, you're right. You're completely right. You
But
know,
like you see like people react to that, and you like you see it on her Twitter. If you follow her Twitter, like she'll, because you know
yeah,
she randomly will like, oh, found these today, you know, because if you guys follow her, you know she has like a whole sneaker room and everything like that, and she'll just post a random shoe,
mm-hmm.
you know, something random, and it's never anything like well known. It's always something that is kind of like lost in the fold. And if you're like really into those shoes, or you're really into like the culture itself as a whole,
Yeah,
you'll know.
you
Like
know,
there's,
yeah.
and she posted, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is. like, and, but I
That's
see,
Chris majority of the time.
yeah, and I see people react, or I see you react to it, and I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I guess it's something, you know,
I guess
something
it
to,
is fire.
yeah. And so then like, you know, by the name and like what it like represents, then I figure out like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Like it was
Yeah,
something really dope. And but that's just how, like that's always how it goes. And so you see like Skate, he does it very well. Like he posts shit that like he'll do like his right or left kind of thing with the boxes like
which I
that.
miss. It's been a while.
Yeah, he hasn't done it in a while. I need to bring that back.
Right or left is dope. I like that.
Yeah. And so like and it was always, he would always do a shoe that was either current or something that was like really popular, or something that was forgotten about but also was very popular. Like one time I forgot, I don't know, I forgot the because I forgot what the other shoe was, but he did like some brown and white uh SB dunk or something like that. It was just like a regular, and like you saw the people that
Mm.
really knew sneakers like, oh, those are dope. Like, bro, I haven't seen those in forever. And
Mm-hmm.
then whatever he had posted that was the other one that wasn't picked, it was something. I think it was like an off white or something like that. And people were
Yeah.
like, oh, I should have picked that one. It's like that. And it was just like they were more intrigued by the exclusive whatever than something that like you could see like the true sneakerheads were like really into, like, yo, I haven't seen those in forever, I really need to get my hands on those, or man, I have those somewhere in my closet, or I just sold them or whatever. And then and that's when you start seeing like, if say if like Kanye did it, you'll start seeing that price for that on StockX start to climb a little bit and then go up to the point where it becomes a price tag for these kids, and now these kids are all running to get the shoe, and then
Mhm.
realize that
It's the same shoe he just posted.
it's the same shoe, like it's everything like that he it's everybody is moved by how StockX moves and how GOAT moves and how
Mm-hmm.
whatever celebrity you follow moves, and like that I feel like that is why, like, my only preference of why we would probably need gatekeepers that are actual gatekeepers
Mm-hmm.
is you have to start calling these people out, because I think the only people that can be called out like now are celebrities, because celebrities go on here and Offset got killed. You know, he got like you saw it in the comments. Like people were really on his head when he was talking when he went
Yeah.
to Complex and talk shoes. But
Because didn't he say he spent like $6,000 on his friends and family? Travis
yep,
sixes.
yep,
That's like, I mean, even if you did or didn't, more power to you if you can. But like, all you're doing is fucking throwing out a number, and now everyone's gonna throw out that same number.
yeah,
And now here we have a $6,000 shoe
Mhm.
that probably would have been like 1,000 or two
yeah,
thousand at most, because if the regular ones are like $600 right now,
Mhm.
that friends and family pair, I'm assuming, is at least twice as much, maybe.
yeah,
Because usually, I mean, the way it's shaping up right now with like the friends and family Travis Scott box and the friends and family, the 420s and the friends and family, Ben and Jerry's, the Chunky
Mhm.
Dunkies.
Jesus,
Um,
that price was ridiculous.
bro, out the gate, they was asking for 14, 15. Now they're like at
Yeah,
19.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
I
my
had
god.
one of my homegirls hit me up. It was like, "Hey, do you know anybody that's getting them?" And like the funny thing is, I hadn't had somebody hit me up to like as like try to be a plug in a long time, so it kind of felt
Uh-huh.
like it surprised the hell out of me. I was like,
Oh yeah. Yeah,
she hit
same
me
here,
up,
bro.
and
Same
she was like,
here.
"Yo, do you know anybody getting a Ben and Jerry's? Like, I really want to get a pair for me and my boyfriend." And I'm like, I don't think I even know
Psych!
anybody
Psych!
anymore.
Psych! Psych! That's
Boyfriend, huh?
that's well, not only am I not helping you because you're asking for you and your man's, I'm not helping you because you don't know yourself that there's nothing that can help you to get those
Like that,
shoes.
like, but it was so funny because she asked me like love her to death, like I love her to death. But it was so funny because she asked me, and I literally sat there like thought like, do I know anybody? And then I realized I was like, well, she's asking for the Ben and Jerry. No, I definitely don't know anybody that like. And I told her I was like, I'm gonna let you know this now. I don't know anybody that has them, but I know
Yeah,
some people that will probably be able to get them that I can hit up and say, yo, I have somebody if you're trying to get them off your hands.
yeah,
But I was like, I hope you know you're coming out of pocket heavy for these,
yeah.
right? And she was like, well, how much? And I was like, well, right now people are asking for 15. And this was that Saturday,
Was
the
that
Saturday
so?
before.
So that would have been a really good time to buy.
Yeah.
No, because no, I think they were like at 12 to 13. They
When
they they might have. Oh, when you look like,
when I
yeah,
looked, it was they people had just started doing, because that Saturday, remember that's when they started doing heavy promotion for it, because
yeah,
it's
and the
supposed to come
raffles
out,
are coming in.
yeah, and all that.
Yeah,
So you started seeing the the people that had the raffle tickets, and
yeah.
like if I get 1,500,
Here's
like
a raffle
and
ticket.
it's like, and I was like, just know it's 15, and because she was trying to get her and her boyfriend a pair, and I'm like, and I
Do
was
the
like, I didn't know you
racks.
was balling like that.
Do the math.
And she literally was like, how much? I was like, 15 is what I'm seeing. And I was like, I'm pretty sure if I hit up one of my homies, they're gonna ask for the same amount, maybe a little bit more. I don't know if they'd give me a homie discount for these shoes. And
Yeah.
he was like, oh,
Bye.
nah. And I was like, well, yeah, you could check and see if you can find some raffles. And then I realized that they had shut down all the raffles. I was like,
It's too late.
oh, sorry, I don't know what to tell you. But it was, again, like that was one of those situations where I wasn't thinking about the Ben and Jerry's. Like I really wasn't, because I saw them, they look cool, but then realized like the way that people responded to them the 2 weeks
Bro,
before they released, I was like,
those shoes are hot magma.
yeah,
They're
they're
fire.
fire. They're definitely fire.
They're
I would
fire,
like
man.
I would definitely try to find a way to rock them, but at the same time, like I don't wear dunks like
I'm
that. So
telling you, man, a white tee, some cotton shorts, some fleece shorts, some white
Some
socks,
unlaced shorts.
and whatever shoes you're wearing. That's all you need. That's the fit right there. That's the fit of the gods, bro. That's literally what Jerry Lorenzo. That's what his lookbook was for like 3 years. Fear of God's lookbook was literally a shirt that said essential, some of those shorts with the long ass strings, and
I think
his.
Jeremy has that. Jeremy was wearing that today. Do you see his? Do you see his?
I did,
His Fear of God.
yeah. He was wearing
Yeah.
the all black fogs.
I couldn't tell what they were at first. I was like, "What the fuck? What shoes are these?" Because I'd
What
never
the
seen them from like
fuck are
a
those
aerial
moon
view.
boots?
I was like,
An
"What is that?"
aerial view.
I literally thought he was wearing like some like very low Vans. I was like, "What the fuck?" Like I haven't seen Jeremy in
Fucking
Vans in
shoes.
forever.
His shoes equally as long as his socks.
Yeah,
Like,
you know.
what are those?
Because Jeremy has big ass calves. If at a certain point you gotta just
I never seen him from the back, bro. I wouldn't
You've
know.
never seen his calves? That is literally how people know Jeremy.
I've never really paid attention to his legs.
Yo, yo, no. The funny thing about it, like you say, like I get what you're saying, but you gotta understand there are people that literally only know Jeremy because of his calves, because his calves are ginormous.
Yeah, no, I never paid attention to
Oh
it.
my god. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
actually, maybe I just never really realized in proportion to him.
yeah, you have to see, like you would have to see him and then see his
Yeah.
calves and then realize that, and then you find like because he used to like he damn near used to hike to get to the bus because he lived on right up Raymond. You know that long ass hill on the other, what's the other street right
Oh,
over
Marengo.
that hill? He used to have to walk that every day,
Yeah.
up and down it, like, and that's how he got his calves. And that's how people started realizing because he had fucking mountain climber calves.
Mountain climber calves.
It was like he could jump
Thank
over
you.
buildings with his calves.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, but yeah, no, like I think like yeah, you see like the Ben and Jerry's were 1,500 and kids were going crazy for him, and that's like of course everybody was going crazy for him because everybody wanted the pair, but then it brings into you see people doing like the antics and what like I didn't look much into it because I didn't care, but the guy that was eating ice cream out of the shoe,
Yeah.
and like I don't care. Like it's if you bought it, who the fuck do I give a
I
shit
just
what you do
don't
with
I
your
just
shit?
don't get it, bro. Like I mean, I get you have the shoe and I get you can do it, but why doesn't your boring ass just do it every day with a regular ass shoe with some regular ass Vans? Like, if this is what you want to do, why are you doing it? And like, I just
Right? I think somebody had said that he was somebody of like somebody he's somebody that is known or something like that. Like he has some kind of connection, so that's why he was doing it. And like because the way I saw it was on Twitter, and somebody had just posted it and was like, "Look at this weird, goofy ass dude," and it was him, eating ice cream out of the shoe. I'm like, this looks stupid. Like,
no, I read that too.
Yeah.
I still don't get it.
Yeah, it made no sense. And then you saw the person that did the swimming test with him. So they walked into the pool with him.
Yeah.
And walked down. I was like, that's how they look when they're wet and stuff. And it was like, again, I don't care, but it was like, I get because we've gotten to that point where we're in a culture now where people put so much emphasis on the shoe itself and get upset about it. Like, how many times have you been to the gym and somebody like our circles know us. Like our circles know that we're into shoes and know that we collect shoes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I would go to 24 and some dude would be playing in some Bread 11s and be like, yo, how is he playing his Bread 11? I'd be like, these are basketball shoes? Like if they were comfortable, I'd play in them, but they're terrible. Like they're not comfortable to play basketball in.
Yeah.
But like I don't like what's the issue? Like he's using them.
Yeah.
Like at least he's not doing some corny shit and like let's do a lava test with him and stepping in lava just to ruin a pair of shoes. Like he's wearing them.
I see what you mean, but it's two different approaches, I guess.
Well, yeah, I
don't
know
know.
the
Eating ice cream out of a shoe is just an extreme, bro. Like,
yeah,
why?
like I get the extreme, but I'm just saying like there were people like we know that people do like there's people that like we know he's doing it for shock value. Just like when Nice Kicks post those pictures of, oh, how do you feel? And they'll show like a picture of somebody creasing their ones like super heavy. And I'm like,
yeah, definitely.
Like, are there people really in the comments upset about this? Like, And it's not like he's doing anything crazy. It's like he's just walking, but he just so happens to like he does like long ass steps.
Or
So,
when they squat and then you
Yeah.
just see the crease.
yeah, and it's like, oh,
Like, bruh.
here to upset some hype beast, and it's like, wait, you guys are like, is that truly a thing? Like, you guys are
Mhm.
upset that they're squatting, and then you realize like I get promotions for the crease shield or whatever on my Instagram every single day. Like, yeah, there's a market for it. There's a market for people that really are.
I want to try one of those actually.
I feel like they'll be uncomfortable.
Not because I don't want my shoes to crease, but I do have one pair of ones that's an 11.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only one that I own that's an 11. All my other ones are 10 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I figured if I'm gonna put it in any shoe, putting it in a shoe that's half size bigger would
Yeah.
be the one to put
Yeah,
it in.
probably. Yeah, most likely.
Yeah,
Because the way it looks like a shoe tree that's just been cut in half, kind of.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
so I think it's one of those things where it probably would be
You're
it
obviously
would
gonna
take
lose
up
some room in there.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Or I want to buy. I don't know if you've seen those insoles. Maybe they've come up on your ads.
Mm.
There's a brand that make insoles out of Boost material.
Mm.
So I want to buy one of those and put it in that shoe.
Oh, okay. Oh, it just lift up to take up space. Okay, yeah. I'll give you
I mean,
guys.
I realistically don't need it,
Yeah.
but
Why
I
not?
want to try the product, and
Yeah.
I feel like that's the shoe to try the product in.
Definitely. Yeah. I would. There's a what is it?
Damn, my neighbor just got mad faded. I know he did. I could smell it, and my window's open right, this big ass window, and I just see the pizza man carrying like fucking 5 pizzas, like.
he was
And
like,
I
yeah,
already know where that pizza man is going, bro. I already know. I
yeah.
already know.
What does who like? How old is he?
He's my age, I'm assuming. So he's probably like 27, 25 to
Okay.
our age or whatever. I don't
I
know.
always see him roaming around. I just always see him every time
Yeah,
every time I come over. I just always see him just like he's
he's
like,
always chiefing in the front.
oh yeah.
Well, he wasn't working for a hot minute like all the rest of us out here in this area. But he just got back to work.
Okay.
But yeah, during that time he was out there chiefing like 2-3 times a day.
There's nothing better to do. Just fuck it.
Literally, I'd be like, "What's good, bro? How's your day?" You already know, dog. Just out here smoking.
Oh my god, that's funny. Yeah, yeah, I would want to try them. There's a
That's the big homie.
there's a pair of 12s that
Yeah.
I would probably use it for because I have one size 11, and
Okay.
weirdly I can fit a size 9.5 because I like my shoes to kind of fit a little snug. I can in 12s I can fit a 9.5, like the new 12s. Any of the new 12s I can fit a 9.5. Surprisingly, for some reason, yeah, it's weird.
Okay.
It's weird, but they're like those for some reason. 12s get long on me for some reason, so it's whatever. But yeah. So
thank you. That pizza man is excited walking back. No more pizza boxes, and he probably got a fat tip.
For sure. Right, yo, yeah, your total is 41. Oh yeah, here's 50. Keep the change.
Keep the change.
Keep change. What so do you agree that we should have gatekeepers?
Yeah, I mean, I think we do already have them.
Mm-hmm. Who do you vote to be a gatekeeper? Let's start. Let's do this like here.
Honestly, I would think like someone like Franelations would be good.
Okay.
I'd like to see more sneakers from him.
Okay.
I know he's a collector of many things, but I feel like he blew up because of shoes, and now that he's on his platform, he's able to venture off. Like he's doing Fortnite and he does OnlyFans. He actually has an OnlyFans account.
Word?
Yeah, he has an OnlyFans, and it's literally about sneaker content. It's not like
that's dope.
Yeah, it's not anything.
I want to see.
Yeah, I don't know what he would do.
I want to see what
that
would be.
He has an OnlyFans for sneaker content, and he does a lot of gaming now. So I just feel like that outlet or that focus isn't there anymore.
Let me see. I'm gonna read I'm gonna see what the description says.
Pulled it up.
Shoe connoisseur and YouTuber, Shark Hoodie Life. Use code Franelations in the Fortnite item shop. How much does he sign? $5 for per subscription.
Just $5 a month.
Yeah. And he has a $13.50 for 3 months. What does he do? I want to know what he does.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I think he'd be good. I
Send
think
me videos, 13.
that's obviously someone that has been around for a while that people would respect more so.
I really wanted to. I really want to just subscribe to see what
Who
it
else would
is.
I? Who else would I? I think someone like you need to have an OG somewhere.
Yeah, I
So
think.
maybe like Greg Street. Greg Street could be a
Okay.
dude that could really be like, man, fuck all these people.
You know who I vote for? Who
Clark
I want
Kent,
out? What happened?
DJ Clark Kent
Just a Kirk. I don't think gives a
is
shit.
another one. He doesn't, but I feel like he could be that dude.
He'd be a funny
He
gatekeeper.
could, yeah,
He'd be funny,
he'd be that dude.
and he's the
He
opposing
he'd at
presence too.
he'd at least be that dude for the early Nike and Air Force and all of that era.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
He'd at least be that guy for that. Mm,
Um, I would want Captain Barlow's to be a gatekeeper.
hey,
Yo, he would. I feel like he would be the best gatekeeper
yeah,
because he talks his shit, and I think he would
he
also.
does.
He would.
He,
We're trying to get him on the show. I've talked to
yeah,
him. We're working on getting him on the show, so we're gonna bring this up to him. But I want him to be a gatekeeper. I feel
he's
like he would
very
be great at it.
yeah, he's very much like how we said about skate.
Mhm.
It's very blunt. It's not like
Yeah,
he's not beating around the bush or anything.
yeah,
Um, but he's also not saying it to put anyone down.
true, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
So
think
it's cool.
like
I think
I
he'd be good.
like, and so I say this, and I say this not like I say this with like just like Gabe said, like not I don't want like I'm not trying to we're not trying to find gatekeepers that are gonna like close the doors and lock and throw away the key on every generation that comes after us to be into shoes.
Hmm.
We're looking at people that would hold the culture to a higher standard because we have that. There are people that do it, but not as frequently,
Hmm.
and that's not like a shot at them or anything like that. It's just they have like you gotta understand we're adults, we're grown,
Yeah.
we're not here to bully little kids and talk to little
I'm
kids in the first place,
grown.
but
I'm grown.
but like we
Little
have like
baby.
yeah like but we have a responsibility, like we talked about in the last episode, when it comes to like the looting and like the people being opportunists and
Yeah.
destroying these stores that are part of the culture, like Fight Club, Riff LA, and all these, and like Supreme and all this stuff, like people that are part of the culture and that shape this culture.
Mm.
There's a responsibility on us to keep ourselves in check. That's you see it with everything, no matter what
Yeah.
hobby or pastime people have. The people there is a way to keep people in control and know that hey, that shit is not cool.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same thing when it comes to just overall the culture. Like there has to be some people that are voices that can be heard from everywhere,
Hmm.
but also respected by everybody. So when they do say something that people are like, yo, go listen to what they just said. Like they
Hmm.
really were speaking facts. To be able to say like to put some kind of like substance of like, don't come in here just trying to don't think just because you brought a check that you're
Yeah.
now part of the culture and that you're here to stay and like we're gonna honor you with open arms like that. Like no, like really be about the culture. Don't be in it just to try to make some money because you're always going to lose like that.
Hmm.
Like I worked for a company that was like that. They had the money to be in the culture and do all these different things. And I'll tell you like this, I'm thankful for the company because I met a lot of people that I don't think I would ever met if I didn't work for that company when it came to like people in the street culture, because we went to events and stuff like that and I had to interview people. So I don't think I would have met them if I didn't. But he went out of business not even a year into me working with him because you can't keep up. Like you're never going to be able to keep up with coaches. Like you spending money to go to all these conventions and uh trying to put money towards interviews and doing all these events just like that. You're still not gonna you're it's not gonna happen. I
Yeah.
met
You
I met
gotta.
I met Kixology, I met Tyree, I met Michelangelo, I met all of them through that company.
Hmm.
But all of them lasted.
Yeah.
All of them lasted because they're really about the culture. They're really about,
Hmm.
the sorry, you guys are hearing fireworks. They're really hearing they really care about the grind that goes into being into shoes and stuff like that. And so I think having people that are in that place of like
Hmm.
kind of keeping us shielded from people that are just trying to make money off of
Yeah.
everybody, you know. Because you saw when the looting happened, a lot of people came out and said something like, "Yo, this is stupid. Like y'all, you guys are buying shoes online for $100
Yeah.
right now that are worth
And people were saying
twice as much." Yeah,
don't buy, shoes right now.
yeah,
Don't. And you saw like how it got to a more it got to a level with a higher voice
hmm,
when rest in peace Kobe's passing happened.
yeah,
um Sneaker stores were like, we're not going to sell Kobe's, we're not going to
yep,
honor these higher prices, we're not going to, like, it's clear that we can do it.
yeah,
It's very clear that we can do it. It's just, my question was going to be like, what is because I'm going to use the word reform.
hmm,
It's something that people should probably be hearing, every
yeah,
day right now.
definitely.
Reforms all across the board on so many political topics and things that are going around in your city or in your state or wherever you're at right now. But for us, we're going to take that simple term, that concept, reform, and we'll plug it into the student culture.
Yeah,
What does it look like though? What let's say we do have these people that do have these voices, and we do have people that follow them, and we do have people that repost them. Like, okay, yeah, $1,500 for that shoe is ridiculous. We shouldn't be doing those things. Great,
hmm,
everyone's fault listening, but ultimately, like, will that really change the price? Will that really keep the price from being 1,500? Will it bring it down? Will it only drive it up? Like,
no,
yeah,
I
you
don't. I don't
see,
see. I don't see it. I don't see it changing just because that's just how the world works. Like
exactly.
that's just literally like the world works like that.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, you can definitely um shape that every shoe doesn't shouldn't automatically jump to $1,500
Mm-hmm.
after release. Like
Mm-hmm.
we can shape that
Mm-hmm.
because we did it before when Jordan was going through its down period of like just dropping whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and at a certain point, everybody was like, "No, I'm not buying it," or
Mm-hmm.
"No, I'm not trying to resell that." And what happened? A lot of those shoes dropped in price, and a lot of them never even made it back to retail. And that is, I think, not every off white has to be a $2,500 shoe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, but again, that's not for me to say because I don't like off white shoes. I'm not a fan of them. There's
Mm-hmm.
some that I enjoy looking at, but I don't think even if I could afford them that I would buy a pair. I think the only pair that I would actually ever get, and I think I've said this on the show, is the black Vapor Max off whites, and that's just because I have a thing for Vapor Max, so whatever. But
The one with the clear sole, or the one with the black sole?
clear,
Yeah, that was fire.
yeah. And so
That's
like,
the one with the blue laces, right?
mhm.
Yeah.
Like those, like I think, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, like
That one
but
is
like,
fire,
but like
yo.
for me, like that is that like I'm a huge fan of Vapor Maxes,
Yeah.
but also like that's probably the only off white that I've seen that I've actually liked. And you
Okay.
know this because you send me them all the time, and I'm like, like they're all right, like they're cool, but
Mm-hmm.
not then I'm even if I had the money, I would spend my money on. But again, that goes back to I don't look at shoes with a price. I look at them for do I like them personally?
Yeah.
Would I enjoy wearing them? And I think we can still shape that. We can still every off white that drops, or every Fear God that drops, or every Travis Scott that drops. And granted, Travis Scott has killed every single drop that he's put out. Don't let me take away from that because every single thing that he's dropped has been top tier and it deserves everything that it's getting. But the one thing that does drive it though is the and we're going to get into the next one because we've been on this for who the fuck knows how long. But um then it the little kids that have these deep pockets drive that because now they have them, now they can set the price.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have the shoe now, I'm going to sell it because the last one sold for 2,500. I'm thinking 3,000, and there's going to be somebody that buys them, which ends up setting the price.
Mm-hmm.
And if we had people that were in these positions, like these influencers, these gatekeepers that were like, and they've done it before, like they've done it, they've posted the prices of shoes and be like, you guys are tripping, and
Yeah.
then you start seeing the price kind of slowly coming down. on eBay and on StockX. But for the most part, like if they come out and they're like 2,500, yeah, nah, get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And you have people telling them like this is a dumb price to have for these shoes. It's not
Mm-hmm.
worth that. Then you might see it. You might start seeing a lot of people saying like because there are a lot of people that respect Kixology. Yes, if she was, I'm pretty sure, you know, and there's no takeaway from her, but if she was probably if she was a man, she probably would have a deeper voice to get a lot of people to kind of react. But like Skate is a passive person, so he's not gonna do it. Kicks, he does it, but he also doesn't really give a shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's kind of on his own thing. But like if you had these people saying, yo, nah, in unison, then you will start seeing that's when you will start seeing the prices kind of come down
Yeah.
on resale
Okay.
for the most part. But yeah,
It works.
yeah,
I
that's
just, yeah.
mm.
Sign me up when it
Yeah.
happens. Sign me up. You know.
we'll be on the lookout.
Yeah.
We'll
Sign me
definitely
up.
let you guys know.
Yeah.
But I want to get it.
Put my resume. You know, on the Indeed,
Yeah, you know, gotta let them
and
know.
let them know.
Yeah. So to go into to do another kind of deep dive into the
Mm-hmm.
second article because we
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long we've been on for way too long. Um, the second one that she got into, she wrote this one. This one was released on the 10th of this month. Kicking facts again. The title: How much responsibility do white influencers who eat off black culture have when it comes to speaking out about justice?
Mm. Damn.
Mm,
Damn.
mm.
Damn. Damn.
And I didn't add the white in there. She put it in there, but she,
Yo,
hey,
because
she
you know,
right.
people.
Mm,
It's
mm.
just the world we're in right now, bro.
Talk your shit, Jazzray. Talk it. Talk your shit. Again, this is Jazzray Allen Lord on Revolt.tv. This article is also on Revolt.tv. Kicking facts.
Mm-hmm.
Great article. Again, she's the articles I've seen, she's undefeated right now, so she's
Mm-hmm.
been killing the game. This one dives into because of
Uh-oh.
this dives into the what the world we've been.
Hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Wait, hold up.
can you hear me? Yeah.
No, yeah, yeah.
No, but yeah. So yeah, she she talks about because we're in a time now where we're looking at people that have benefited off of our culture
Mm-hmm.
and profited off it, but don't stand with us when we are being uh shit beaten in the streets and killed in the streets and mistreated in the workplace. Um and we're seeing a lot of companies getting outed for that. Adidas, one of them. Complex, most recently. We'll get into that later, but Complex is one of them that most recently has to go through explaining. You say that you're with us, but there are people that are of color that work for you guys that are saying that that's not how you guys operate behind closed doors. Um, and so she gets into it in this, and so I think sneaker culture is probably the best example of this. Besides sports, I think sneaker culture is because we hint on it every now and then, but um, you talk about urban culture and what the sneaker culture meant to us and how it's influenced us in like our fashion and how we dress and how we interact in our social status within our community, like, and not even just the sneaker community but just like the place that we grew up in. um I, like, for me, I like through my circle, I was known as a sneaker guy. Like I was just known as that sneaker guy. I'm the same for you. I was like people to like, yo, there's a dude named Gabe that has shoes too. He sells them. Like you should like, and Jeremy introduced me to you, and like that's how we connected. And so it's just like that's how it happens. But I think it ties into the last thing we're talking about because we have kids that are into sneakers, but just into them just for the money.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same exact sense when it comes to white influencers.
Okay.
And you spoke about like influencers buying shoes and using it to be able to set their status online and like on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter, but are very silent or very standoffish when it comes to there is a black man or a black woman now
Mm-hmm.
dead in the streets at the hands of cops or the hands of a white person or the hand or being mistreated in a workplace, and your brand or your 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 following is because of the culture, the sneaker culture in itself, and you are very silent. Why and why are we letting it happen? Why are we letting, in a sense, and I don't mean to say this, so well, honestly, I don't care, but why are you letting white America dictate our culture?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I am I know that a lot of my style comes from black people. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of style from white influencers come from black people.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you letting, why as a community for us do we let these influencers kind of come in, be part of this culture, and then we don't get on their head when shit comes out that, oh, a black man was killed, or a company like Adidas is mistreating people of color, or using people of color ideas and faces, but not having people of color dictate what comes out from that brand. You guys are just silent about that. Like that, like now it's not a big deal. Now it's a benefit for you guys because now, oh, wow, since you guys are boycotting, now I can get some cheaper Adidas, or I can be able to, like, now I'm going to use Adidas, or I'm going to use this stuff to do trigger warnings for people.
Mm-hmm.
Why? And so I think that's a conversation that I wanted to have,
Mm-hmm.
because she wrote a great article on it. Um, how do you feel about that? Like,
I
just
I think
white influencers.
I think for white influencers, sticking to the article, I'm not,
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not I'm not pointing a finger or
Yeah.
targeting a certain group.
Of course.
So I think when it comes to white influencers, uh, a lot of the times they're like, I don't want to say a lot of times because I don't really know. So I'm going to throw out some ideas that I think are going through their head.
Hmm.
One, they're just completely disconnected. They're oblivious to it. They don't even understand the correlation. They don't. There's just, yeah, they're just oblivious to the overall impact that they're not aware of that really happened in, the culture. There's one way, like, there it has its story, right? The
Hmm.
culture of sneaker culture. There's everything behind it, and then you kind of just, it's like you didn't read the book, but you're going for the test.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hmm.
There it is.
Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
Come
So they
on.
didn't read the book, but they're white, and they went to the test, and they're going to pass. And it's really what it is.
Yeah.
There's just, they don't care.
Hmm.
It's all personal gain at the
Yeah.
end of the day. Their interests, their gain, their followers, their everything is them, 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 them. And when it comes to, okay, well, look, now you're so into this culture of sneakers, and now that the sneaker culture is following another movement, and all of a sudden you're not about the sneaker culture.
Hmm.
That's that yeah, there's no real, I don't think there's an actual answer
Hmm.
to even justify what it is. And I'm not gonna lie, I felt on this topic myself.
Yeah.
And I had this conversation with Sophia, who is happens to be the girl that I mentioned to you, that when we do our visuals, she's the one that said, I don't know anything about shoes, but those
Yeah.
visuals help me.
Yeah.
It's actually her. And she pointed out to me, like, yo, like, sneaker culture is black culture. Like, that's, you're in it. So you, by association, have to stand up for everything that sneaker culture pursues.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. And And I was like, no, you're 100% right. There's no wrong to that answer. Nothing about what you said is wrong. And for white influencers, they don't view it that way.
Yeah.
And that, I think that's just the bottom line. They're disconnected. It's all disconnected for them.
Yeah. And I
They're
think, oh yeah, go.
No, that's just,
Oh yeah.
there's just no care.
Yeah. And I think, and so she touches on it because she touches on a lot of different people in this
Mm-hmm.
article.
Mm-hmm.
Virgil being one of them, Sean Witherspoon being another. And I don't know much about Sean Witherspoon like that. Virgil as well. I'm not like, I don't follow their careers like that.
Yeah.
But this article brought light to a lot of shit that I did not know about. Like, oh, okay. And so, you know, they talk about she talks about round two
Mm-hmm.
and how, because, you know, as you see, and if you watch the last episode, I had a picture of round two. It was looted, it was broken into
Mm-hmm.
and looted, and then they put boards up, you know, saying there's nothing left, everything's empty. And the way that the response to the looting and the response was basically the looting was the biggest thing to them. That was their main, that was who they direct their anger towards. Not,
Round two.
huh?
Round two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the cause,
Yeah.
just the you took from us kind of
The
thing.
the the byproduct
Yeah.
of protesting was
Yeah,
looting.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so you know, they she goes into that. She goes into the Virgil $50 donation,
Yeah.
which we didn't talk about in the last episode. I don't.
We didn't go in background. We just made fun of it.
Yeah, and so like a little bit of it. So what happens is, and so I fall on the fence with this. I get it, but I also don't get it.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Not for someone like him, at least.
So what happened is George Floyd unfortunately dies at the hands of police brutality of a cop kneeling on his neck for almost 9 minutes. And so protests happen. Minneapolis, you know, goes up in flames basically,
Mm-hmm.
and it starts. You start to see it kind of a wave effect around the country of people protesting and basically
Still protesting, by the way.
it's still protesting, and I love to see that.
Yeah.
And people of color, Black people, finally realizing that this can't be the norm. We can't just say, well, another Black man dead,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, let's, you know, move on. And people, you know, start to protest, and, you know, donations start going around to help families that
Yeah.
were, you know, that were affected by police brutality, especially George Floyd's family. And so what happened on Twitter, I don't know if it was on Instagram, but I saw it on Twitter more, was people were doing match the donation.
Yeah.
So somebody would donate, and then they would send it, and somebody would match that donation, and then they would send it off, and then that person would have to match that donation. And so
Yeah.
what would happen is people, you know, like it was people like me and you kind of doing a donation.
Virgil really came in at the 50.
Yeah. And so people was like me and you know, like us, like in our tax bracket, I should say, you know, doing
Yeah.
$10, 15, 20. And then at one point it got to 50. And you were seeing people, you know, doing it, and then you would see like random celebrities. It would come across the timeline, and then they would do massive donation, and then it would be like $100,000. And it was, and since for them to do it for their friends that are in their same tax bracket,
Yeah.
because I can't match, you know, $100,000, but their friends who see it, that are in their, that live their lifestyle with them, can
Yeah.
see it and be like, hey, match it, we're going to. And so
Shut up.
it comes across Virgil's timeline, and he he you know, doesn't read the room and posts, you know, match the donation, and it was $50. And so he was matching somebody else's $50. And it was probably the worst time he could have did it, because this is when literally everybody that had said anything racist or distasteful or was even insensitive to what was going on
Mhm.
was getting the lash of the internet. Like they were getting destroyed by the internet for a full 24 hours. And he comes in like nothing is wrong and does $50 donation, says massive donation, and everybody dog powers onto him, and it turns into a meme of keeping it to Virgil's, all this different stuff. And I think what makes matters worse, and I feel like Drake did this on purpose. You can't tell me he didn't. Drake posts on his story, he donates. I forgot how much money he donated, like the massive donation thing. He put on his Instagram story, and that kind of like set people like, yo, you see all these other people doing, like you see all your celebrity friends doing 100,000, 200,000, a million, whatever, and you're saying here match 50.
Match
and
50, bro.
and so then the conversation became, because Virgil is a he's the VP of design.
No, I think he is the guy.
He's the guy for Louis.
Yeah, for their for is it I do they is it like a is it a certain sub brand? Let me check, bro.
I thought he was just like he was the creative director for Louis. But while Gabe looks that up, he they start bringing up his job title and like what he does, and then of course he is the one that he creates the off
Yes,
whites.
his title,
Mhm.
according to these articles, is that he is the artistic director for Louis Vuitton's menswear.
Okay. Yeah. So they look at that, they see that title, they see Louis Vuitton's price tag, they see the off-white price tag, they see what resale is doing. They see what the culture, how the culture um, backs him in the sneaker world, and how much they're putting into off-white and how much he's making off of off-white, and
Yeah,
says 50 is not acceptable.
yeah,
You came in low as shit. Like,
yeah.
and so I don't want to get into a conversation about this because it's not the important thing of it.
Mhm.
Um, I will say though that it's funny as hell. It's a funny story, and he didn't read the room. I kind of understood it when it happened because it's like he's just matching. He's just doing what the tweet says,
Yeah.
but I can also understand 50, like
Not
50.
even a hundo,
you
dog.
know and then he does his his backpedal cleanup act by posting about his hardships as a Chicago kid, that he's still a black man when he interviews and doesn't know if he'll get the job because he's black and all that, and everybody's kind of looking at him like, okay, head of Louis Vuitton, all right, does it really, like, are you really interviewing now, like,
Yeah.
does it really matter?
Do
But
you really need to interview or just
yeah, but I
call you,
think I
bro?
think his
Like,
basis was, coming up before the title started happening, like him being a black man. He was, but it's like you had Kanye in your corner. Like, you're not interviewing for shit. All you gotta do is say, "Yo, Kanye told me to come here. Y'all know Kanye? Cool. I'll sign the papers. What's my offer?" Kind of shit. So blah 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 blah. But she goes into the article, and talking about the Sean Witherspoon thing, and then talking about the uh I don't know much of the backstory on this, but a woman, when because he was former employee of Nike, and also when he was I believe when the store was round two was opening,
yeah.
one of the
Oh,
logos,
yeah.
uh
Homegirl with the Tommy Hilfiger.
yeah, it
Yeah.
looked like a Confederate, like symbolized it it was resemblant of a Confederate
Yeah.
flag.
It was a I think it was a tote bag
Mm,
that had it was the design was very 90s because obviously it's a older piece,
mhm.
but it just had like little different flags.
Yeah,
No real flags per se of like real countries or anything like that.
yeah,
But like there's one that was all green flag, one that was like all blue, and then there's one that looked just like the Confederate flag.
okay,
Literally, it was just like it was
yeah,
the blue and the red
mhm.
and the little stars. Yeah,
Yeah, and so uh story goes, the woman brings it to his attention, tells him, yo, this is what this is looking like. this may not be a good look.
Mhm.
And he says, she quotes an article. She quotes an article. I'm gonna read the I'm a wait, where's it at? I'm gonna read I'm gonna read the quote. Well, I'll read the paragraph. Sorry, I'll read the paragraph and then, um,
Okay.
yeah. So, apart from the donation, Virgil became a topic again when he revealed grief over the destruction of Round Two and outrage over the looting, yet had very little to say about the inequities faced by Black people. His support by Sean Witherspoon, a former Nike employee and owner of Round Two, did nothing but add fire to the flames as accounts of Witherspoon's personal bias and mistreatment of women during his tenure at Nike began to surface on the timeline. A former Black female employee who also tweeted a design sold in Round Two that looks eerily close to the Confederate flag,
Mhm.
discussed Witherspoon's callousness when confronted. And then she quotes this is the quote from the tweet. So I pulled Sean aside before opening and asked him if he knew what that flag looked like. He chuckled and then shrugged and said, "Honestly, I don't know, but someone will buy it." I told him it looks dangerously close to the Confederate flag representing white supremacy, and he just walked away. The bag ended up being purchased by a young Black kid. So, and then let me see. So I want to read the second paragraph because kind of I like this too. Sneaker owners, artists, journalists, brand founders, and talent were immediately pulled into focus as we watched the already gentrified sneaker culture finally split. After days of backlash, a flurry of posts began to go live, including one frequent Nike partner and sneaker OG Jeff Staple. In his Instagram statement, Jeff acknowledges his silence and offers an explanation that I have privately received from many of my Asian peers in the sneaker industry. And then here's the quote: I did not want to influence you all to believe that a well versed tweet or photo of George Floyd on my story in between pair of shoes, a sale, and a new collection dropping would make any change whatsoever. He then goes to say, I realized I was wrong by not posting. I was carrying out the tradition of Asian Americans by being silent in the face of Black Americans experiencing oppression. Black
Mhm.
culture has always welcomed me in, and I'm committed to figuring out ways to give back. Um, and so this, she goes into this article and she talks about these brands and these people who either were silent or came out on the wrong side of what was going on.
Yeah.
And so going back to the Round Two thing, somebody's gonna buy it.
Yeah.
That is the worst response you can have to anything when somebody is telling you that something could be misrepresented as something that is offensive to a race. That is irresponsible to me.
It really is.
Um, and then for her to say a Black kid bought it because you got, so I want people to understand something, and um, I'm gonna speak kind of frankly because you know
Tell
what
them.
whatever.
Oh, great big fuck it.
Every yeah every I'm a Black man, obviously.
No way,
I'm
Chris.
you didn't know.
No. No.
uh, but um, there people have to understand that Black culture has, like she said, Black culture has influenced so many different brands that you wear, that you know of, all that. If it wasn't for the
It's the
Black
foundation of
dollar,
the country.
yeah, if it wasn't for the Black dollar, a lot of these brands would not be known. And I think it's irresponsible for brands, especially brand owners that live in the Black culture,
Hmm.
to shrug off
Yeah.
the possibilities of uh what's the word I'm looking for, of what am I looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? Um, it's irresponsible for a brand owner that lives in Black culture to shrug off a possibility of
And
uh of disrespecting. That's not the word I'm looking for. Um, offending. Sorry, offending a
I just
culture.
said that.
You did? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I said offense. Yeah,
Yeah, offending
black culture.
a race and the culture,
Yeah.
and only doing it because somebody's going to buy it regardless.
Hmm.
And yes, that is
Right. Yeah.
what's going to end up happening.
Yeah.
Your name and you being behind this brand, of course
Mhm.
people are going to buy it. If
Yeah.
Virgil dropped a off-white that had a Confederate flag on the back of the shoe, somebody's going to buy it because it's Virgil. It's off-white. They're going to buy the brand. They love the brand, whatever. It'll be but one thing I do know is irresponsible for Virgil to know what that Confederate flag means or
Uh-huh.
have somebody tell him, hey, this would not be a good idea, and him shrug it off and say, well, it doesn't matter because I'm still going to get money from it.
Yeah.
That is the dumbest thing. That's the most irresponsible thing. And I hope that if that is your mindset, if you are a brand owner, if you are somebody that is trying that, and I'm not going to say trying, but if you're somebody that's benefiting from black dollars and doesn't speak out on black problems or doesn't feel like you should say anything or make sure that your brand doesn't offend black people just
Mhm.
because you're like just because you don't think that your demographic fits it or you don't care, you're irresponsible and you should not be running a company.
No.
I, yeah, like I told you, I don't know much about Sean Witherspoon like that.
Mhm.
Um, I know his shoes. I know that people love his shoes. Um, we talked a little bit about his, his backpedaling when he had said that stuff about Adidas, and now he's working with Adidas on a collab. But from what I'm seeing is I don't see anything. I have not seen anything good from him. Like I haven't seen anybody come out and say a good story about him. Every time I hear about him, it's always in a negative light.
Yeah, I've never really heard anything good about him either. I wanted to add, uh on top of just being damn, now I lost the word.
No, you're
You
good.
said it
Sorry.
like 3 times right now. Oh, on top of being irresponsible
Mhm.
with, not getting rid of that item,
Yeah.
um not to be not to desensitize the matter here,
Mhm.
but that's just not smart, bro.
Mhm.
Like it like why would you put yourself in a position to be in a touchy subject?
Yeah.
Why? It's just like, even okay, yeah, remove yourself from what you do and don't believe,
Mhm.
and remove yourself from the issues that are happening around you, and just simply look at the what's in front of you.
Mhm.
If you own a store and you have an item and it looks like it has a Confederate flag on there, the smartest thing to do is just to take it off the shelf.
Yeah.
Like, and then reassess it on your own time.
Mhm.
You look it over and then you figure it out what's gonna happen. But to blatantly just, disregard what someone's concerns are
Mhm.
and the possibility of it,
A black woman at that.
like, bro, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. There's
And
nothing about it is smart.
nothing about it smart, and we're starting to see a trend, and I'm not liking the trend at all.
Mhm.
Is there are more and more black women coming out saying that they worked at a company that benefits from the black dollar, the black culture, the sneaker culture. At that is a black culture thing. That is a urban, uh, has urban influence, and is the reason why it's the where it's at now. And black women saying, I approached the company about something that does not sit right with me or does not sit right with me as a black person.
Mhm.
And they shrug it off or they don't care or it gets sent up the pipeline and gets lost in the fold and whatever. And they either are afraid to come out because they're afraid of what could happen, losing their job,
Yeah.
being isolated, being villainized by, the people's followers or whatever. And or not being able to have a big enough voice over the brand itself because I can understand it's round two, it's Sean Witherspoon, it's Nike, it's whatever. And I don't mean to put Nike in this because Nike has no bearings on this, but I don't know the Nike situation with him and the women that have come out against him for being inappropriate. I want to read more into that, and we will get into more on that if once I figure out. But um, you not being loud, your voice feeling like your not voice is not louder than round two is a problem,
Yeah.
especially when I don't know Sean Witherspoon's nationality. He just seems like a white guy from what I've seen. He just looks like a white guy. But if that's the
AKA
case,
has no flavor.
yeah, yeah, and so if you said you having a black woman tell you to your face and tell you, hey, this looks just like a Confederate flag,
Mhm,
and this is not okay,
mhm.
and you saying, somebody will buy it.
And it's not even.
That's
I'm sorry, bro, but
no good.
it's not even like the person was freaking Hispanic and said, "Hey, yo, this might be offensive to black people, and we're a white business, and I'm a Hispanic guy." But it no, bro, like it was a black girl, and she literally wasn't speaking for everyone, but she
Mhm,
simply just said like, "Yo, if I'm taking a slight offense to this,
mhm.
you can only imagine what the next person might feel."
Yeah, and
And
it's oh god,
no, that and it's just like, bro, how how does that make sense to you?
and take it as a whole. Like yes, this incident itself is its own problem, but take it
Mhm.
as a whole of you saying somebody will buy it. That's irresponsible for you because now you're putting something in the world that a little black kid may not understand because he's too young to understand the history of the Confederate flag, and buying it
There's another problem.
just buying it because it's Sean Witherspoon.
Yeah,
It's his thing,
yeah,
and everybody has his shoes. Everybody wants his collabs. His shoes sell out like crazy. And
yeah.
if I have something that is of his, I have status now. And you doing that and saying you kind of basically saying
You're
you're
kind of writing it off. You're
yeah
co-signing it.
you're co-signing because now that kid has something that he doesn't understand, and he's maybe not going to understand until somebody explains it to him. And then
Or
when he get go ahead.
if you're in a shittier position, bro, like you're by throwing out that item into the universe and for it to land on a young black kid,
Mhm.
like that and him rocking it, obviously he doesn't know what it is, so he's gonna
Yeah,
rock the fuck out of it. Him rocking it, it can very much put that kid in a shitty situation
exactly.
with other individuals who do support that flag.
Exactly, because there are black people out there that do support the Confederate flag and do not see and don't see the the history of it and how it affected black people as a whole,
Mhm.
and are saying, well, no, it's our history, and and downplaying it and not understanding. And now you put that kid at risk because there are people out there that have their pitchforks
Yeah,
that are willing to go at black people that are on the wrong side. And I will say the wrong side because if you're not for your people, you're not for people having equal rights and not being killed just because of the color of skin. And I don't want to hear the bullshit of, oh, well, there are different things. It's like, no, a black man walks down the street, and if I see a cop, I start sweating because who knows if that cop decides today that is the day he wants to fuck with a black kid.
yeah.
Simple and plain. And so you have people out here with their pitchforks saying black people that don't stand for black people are also the enemy. And that kid not knowing what that bag means and not knowing that something looks like something else, and a person going and trying and get putting harm to him
Mhm.
or his family, saying something distasteful for that, and he's spending his money on you. The least you can do is make sure that you're giving people something that doesn't offend, that is not offensive to somebody else, and is not putting people in a situation of having to pick a side. And I feel like that's a real low way of saying it, but that is the best way I can come up with it. Is you can't as a white person
Mhm.
can't live in a black culture uh house, basically live in this sneaker culture, live in this streetwear culture, and then say, well, I'm gonna get their money anyway. No, that's not how this works.
Mhm.
And the the article itself, kind of just puts an umbrella over everything. And I think I really want you guys to read the article because she gets into so much about it. As it's one of those things where that is the biggest problem. Like I told you about that video of the white girl on TikTok where she's like, "Oh, I'm in my court purples and my Supreme camo pants with my Supreme hoodie and my whatever hat she had and whatever bag she had." And it's like you got who knows how many fucking likes, how many sponsorships and endorsements for that BS,
Mm-hmm.
because there are other kids that want that. Like they see Supreme, they see Jordan, automatically are on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you do all that, but yet when it's time to say, hey, this is what's going on in this world for people that are looking at me as an influencer and is looking at me to, because I'm the person that they enjoy watching on TikTok or Instagram or Twitter or YouTube or whatever, and you sit there and say, well, I don't know how, like, I don't know what I would say. I don't know what to, no, you know what to say. Like, we're not, like, as a Black person, I'm not expecting you to come out, Gabe, and say, give me a full, history lesson and give me a full essay on the injustice of a Black person.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing I do know is, as long as you understand what
Mm-hmm.
it's like to be a person of color that has to go through the day fearing that somebody's going to shoot him just because of the color of his skin, that's enough. A lot of these companies, a lot of these white influencers, a lot of these companies are run by white people, and they just see well, they got the Black dollar, so they have to say something. Like, we have to say something, or let's do something, and then it becomes empty. It becomes empty because we find out later that no, you weren't. That's not how your company operates.
Yeah.
You don't respect Black women. You don't respect Black men. You use Black culture to get their money, but don't put nothing back into the culture itself, or into the cities, or into the communities that fund your company.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a big thing when we talked about Adidas. Adidas having that situation where you have Black employees saying, "Hey, they're saying all these right things to Black people to make them feel like they're part of the movement." It's like that, but behind the doors in those offices with the big tables and the big paychecks, there's not a single Black person there, and they're the ones making the decisions. And when a Black person comes to them and tells them something is wrong, they say, we'll figure it out, and then never do anything about it.
The homie just left.
Oh, you did?
My bad.
No, you good.
No, hold
So,
up. I just gotta. No, I'm listening. My
no,
bad.
yeah. So it's like, that's for me. I think that's irresponsible. I think uh, I never knew about that story until I read the article. I never knew. I knew about the Virgil stuff.
Yo, my bad.
There you go.
Huh? Oh snap. Um. Can you give me a minute?
Yeah, do your thing.
No, actually, let me. I don't have to leave. I'll just call her. Fuck it. I'll just go get it. I'll be back.
Yeah, do your thing.
All right. Let me push this back. Push this back. Push this. God damn it. Secretly, I got no pants on. I was just.
Jeez, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Oh fuck, that was funny as fuck.
I get so weak in the knees, I can hardly speak. I lose all control, and something takes over me.
Whoa.
Whoa,
Yo, so I might have got me a snack.
is that a cupcake?
It's a muffin more so.
Okay.
Nah, I don't be fucking with that frosting.
What?
Nah, I do, but I don't want all that right now. Oh, all right.
Oh, you good?
What up?
Oh, what's up?
All right. Let's see. I gotta get cozy again. My fucking legs was all fucking half dead and shit. I ran out the door like, yo, I need some blood flow in these legs before I do things like that.
So I'm we're gonna speed this up
What
because
up?
we've been going for what 2 hours now. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So yeah, I'm sorry. Like I say all that to say like um I don't think there's I don't think there's a like a solution or anything like that. I'm not looking for a solution or anything like that. I think it's literally just a statement.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about gatekeepers when it comes to the culture itself and like people being into shoes and really being about the culture and not just trying to profit off the culture. Um, it's the same with we need to hold these influencers to that same standard. There
Okay.
is no there should be like we shouldn't I shouldn't find me personally I shouldn't find these things out about people that and I'm not saying like I idolize Sean because I don't know him, so I don't I haven't bought any shoes or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But there shouldn't be an idolization or a platform for a person that does stuff like this, especially stuff like this coming to light and finding out that this dude has a checkered past like this, but still benefiting from Black culture when he is doing things that are hurtful to either Black people or to the community itself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that would also be one of those things where we have a gatekeeper. I don't know how people really feel about Sean. I don't because I don't hear much from him or about him unless he's dropping a shoe. So I don't know what people's like.
Are of them?
Yeah, I don't know what people how people feel
Yeah,
about him.
I don't really know what the actual consensus
Yeah,
is about him.
I've
Most
seen
people,
2 interviews with him, and well, 1.5. I seen one. I seen half interview he did with Complex. I seen the interview he did a few years back, just because I wanted to see like the context of what he was talking about when it came to Adidas. No context at all. Everything he said was just a kind of just like a vomit of words of how much he distastes Adidas, and then now we look at 2020 and he's working with Adidas. So but I think it's fitting. It's funny and ironic that he says all these things. There's all these things happening, and he works at he's getting a check from a company that's also going through the same exact thing that he's being accused of doing. So it's funny. Like that situation itself, the whole thing is not funny, but yeah. I, what like anything you want to say about it?
honestly, bro, I think that's just grounds for simple cancel culture.
Yeah,
And I think it's gonna happen at some point. Um, for some of these like not smaller individuals because Sean definitely isn't that.
yeah,
But I do think that if cancel culture can't happen on bigger scales like Adidas,
hmm
at some point it's gonna over and it's going to start taking effect towards those outlets, those smaller outlets.
yeah,
Yeah, it's not a priority right now
hmm
because there's
yeah.
bigger tasks on the agenda.
Of course,
Once we reach whatever level of progress, I'm trying to like
hmm
be,
oh yeah, yeah.
I'm trying, yeah.
It's
I
a checklist. We haven't got to that point in a show. Like
exactly it's
it's
gonna
very
happen.
low on the hierarchy, but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
cancel culture is gonna happen. It's just being notated right now,
Yeah.
and
But
it,
does this come back up because of the fact that like he is a big name, like you said, like he's a big name. It's not like somebody he can just, he's
yeah.
not just
So
going
for
to get
him, it
canceled.
might happen sooner than for others.
Yeah. But he also has a backing of the culture itself, like the sneaker culture itself is very um just give us the product kind of thing.
I mean,
And
I'm not gonna lie,
that's where I feel like a lot of
I was too about his shoes. I didn't give a fuck about round two,
yeah.
but now like it changed, and I'm bittersweet. I'm upset that I never bought those shoes, but
hmm
I'm kind of glad that I don't have them right now.
Yeah.
Um, it's just I'd rather not be in that mix
hmm
of controversial tension.
Yeah.
I'd rather just rock my shoes right here that I've been having forever and
Yeah.
not be a part of that
Well,
conversation.
it's like it's for me. It's the same thing. Like I've always been a big believer of like I don't rock things that I don't understand, and I
Yeah.
also don't wear things that I know people have had that don't look out for the black community.
Hmm.
And so I'm very conscious of that. Like if I find out that a brand has a very that is not something that represents, uh justice for black people or even sees black people as a something to fight for justice or equality for, then I'm not gonna mess with you. And I'm learning a lot of it in this time because there's a lot of companies I didn't know that felt that way. And now I have to like reevaluate, okay, then I'm probably not using that brand no more, not using
Hmm.
this brand no more, because I'm not going to like I said in the last episode, and I said I'm going to say it again. I believe that the black dollar is the most important dollar to the economy,
Hmm.
and if every black person decided to stop spending their money at any establishment that doesn't support equality for black people, that
Yeah.
company would cease to exist after a couple years.
Yeah, there
And
could definitely be an impact for
yeah,
sure.
and so I know for me, I like I'm learning about that, and so finding these things out, and especially, I have a mom. My mom is black. I have a father. My dad is black. I have an aunt. All my family members are black, and I have a lot of women in my family that are black, proud women that are strong and do not bow down to anybody. And for me to know that there's somebody out there in the culture itself that had a black woman tell him, "Yo, this is not a good idea," and you shrug it off, and you treat it as if it's whatever, that doesn't sit right with me, because the one thing I'm a big component on is protecting black people, but also protecting black women, because they get treated like we just last week lost a black woman to somebody that was protesting with like frontline protesting,
Yeah.
and then is killed
Yeah.
senselessly. And that is annoying to me, because the one thing I can say is I've always had a black woman in my corner no matter what.
Yeah.
And if something were to happen to any of them, I would I would take whatever consequence I need to take to protect them, simple
Yeah.
and plain. And for to know that there are black women speaking out and saying, "Yo, this is not this company, or this person is not who they put themselves out to be,
Hmm.
of any race." That doesn't look to benefit or help the black community or a black person that looks like me. I'm not supporting. It's not a let's well, I like the color, like, no, it's a I'm good, I can live without it. I can cut things off a lot easier than probably most people, but I don't hold a lot of people to a high standard anyway. So you're just a normal person to me. Um, and so I'm glad that this article came out. I'm glad that I'm learning these things about these people, because if I didn't, I probably would have never known, and I probably would have just kept going on with my day. And I am the one thing I want to say, because we're going to get off the Jazare articles, is she says all these things and gives by people by name.
Hmm.
She can talk her shit. Like I say as this is the funniest thing is, like, a lot of people that will write stuff like this will probably not put names in,
Yeah.
especially people that have these kind of names in the
Yeah.
culture. She's like, yeah, nah, everybody gets their name put out there. And I thank Revolt for letting her put these out here.
Hmm.
And I don't know how that works with Revolt, so I don't know if they have like a say so or whatever. But if they do, I'm glad that they're letting the truth be spoken.
Yeah. There
And
doesn't seem to be
yeah,
censorship.
and I would want, if I could get 3 books from Jazare on the city culture, and just I would want her just to be like, hey, I'm gonna give you a microphone. I just want you to say everything that you have an issue
Mhm.
with in the city culture and everything you love about city culture, and I probably would listen to it a million times over. So that's where I want to start that. Stop that. Any final thoughts on the article or anything
Mhm.
when it comes to?
I think Jazzare is dope as fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
think
really want her to get on the show.
she uses her position very well, her platform, her her pull, you know.
Mhm.
She's all about speaking her mind and like educating.
Yeah,
She's all about speaking her mind and educating and making sure that all the injustices are being at least thrown out into the universe. You know,
yeah,
she's not she's not going to be the one that people look at and say you were quiet.
yeah,
You know, and that is like that's very commendable
mm,
because she does these things with no regrets. Like
yeah,
she's out there dropping names, being very truthful to her opinion, and ultimately, like she knows she's not wrong.
yeah,
She knows she's not wrong, so she's not trying, or at least through her words, nothing comes off as being forced on someone or
yeah,
imposed. She's not trying to change anyone's opinion. She knows that people feel like this, people feel this way, and there needs to be a a publicized opinion, and
yeah,
she's that opinion, and it's very easy for people like us and other people that think like us to rally behind her.
yeah. Because
Um,
she shines a light. She shines a
yeah.
light. She shines a light on a lot of the darkness in the culture itself.
Mhm.
I'm a person that I don't really follow much of what's going on in pretty much anything. Like I just don't like. I think over the past few years, I've kind of just like slowly stepped back from putting too much effort into like not reading into things, but like putting people on pedestals. I take things for face value,
Mhm.
and a lot of the antics don't go with like run with me anyway. So it's like
Mhm.
I'm just, yo, what is the shoe? What is the shoe? Okay, cool. I like it. Cool. If I don't like it, whatever kind of thing. But a lot of stuff I'm finding out is a lot of these people that we see and like I see people put on these pedestals, like, oh no, they they have some baggage
Mhm.
behind them. And she's putting that out there. And, you know, especially coming from a black woman, I like that. And she's very supportive of black women. She's very supportive of of women in the sneaker culture at that, which I'm like also really because I've wanted to have that talk. We had that talk with Yvette, but I also wanted like I wanted to have that talk like on a deeper level of like, you know, what it's like to be a woman in sneaker culture and also be looked like to be basically uh fetishized but not respected in a sense.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of one of those things where like I like that she her voice and what she says is very she is very direct and
Mhm.
at comes at whatever the issue is like you were saying. So yeah.
Yeah, she's dope as fuck. Two thumbs up for sure.
Yeah.
I encourage anyone anyone that slightly agrees with us or just likes to read, you know, definitely read her articles and become a fan. Like I think even just from a what's that word? Even from like a writing aspect,
Yeah.
grammar level aspect, like
Yeah.
it's just well written.
Yeah.
It's a dope read. It's very informative, and yeah, check her out. Check her out, y'all.
Yeah. Um so yeah, I'll put the links for her articles in the description as well
Mhm.
as her IG and everything like that. So you guys can check her out and everything like that. I'd definitely say give her a follow. She's just a dope follow. She seems like a great person. Hopefully we can get her on the show one day so that we're not speaking for her. Like I really want her to like in her own words kind of like
Yeah.
lay it all out there and kind of just we like literally I want her to come so we could just mute our mics and she could just go and you guys could just listen to her speak. Um but it seems like we're going into a trend here because and this is gonna be really short because we got to get out of here and as well as we don't have the full story, not we don't have both sides of the story, um but because I want well before so sorry so Tiffany Wines came out on Twitter last night or the night before and wrote a open letter.
Mhm. It was
Yeah,
the night before because we talked about it yesterday.
yeah. So she wrote an open letter about to Complex Network, Complex, the big umbrella company, um, and she's a black woman who was basically telling her story of working with Complex, and the the what's the word I'm like she the how uncomfortable it was to work there as a woman, a black
Mhm.
woman at that, and also in response to Complex's stance to Black Lives Matter and their support, and them speaking out and trying to show their support and their lend a hand to the black community in a sense. And so she wrote an open letter. It's a long open letter. It's 3 picture full. So she posted on Twitter. So she took 3 pictures of it, um, basically saying that she she worked for Complex,
Yo, her
and
story is a trip, by the way.
yeah, yeah. And
'Cause
so
there's one part in that story that I still don't understand what exactly happened.
the wheat
When she's
cookies.
talking, when she's talking about that she's in the office and that she was drugged.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So So in one in she lists a couple things. She says that there's a lot more, but she lists a couple things where she was working late at Complex, and there was cookies left in the I guess in the break room. I'm assuming, and she took the cookies. She said she felt weird after. Come to find out, they were weed cookies or edibles or
They're
something like that.
edibles.
There
Oh,
was
she
some.
said she
They were
blacked out.
like they were drug cookies.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
all she mentioned it
yeah.
because I
That's what I assumed.
yeah,
I don't want to assume. I'm sorry for assuming, but yeah,
yeah.
she said that the cookies had something in them. She didn't feel right, and so
She said
and
she I don't want to cut you off, but she literally labels it. I think she said something along the lines. It's like the worst experience of her life.
yeah, and because she also says like her friends not knowing where she's at, and like these the like just the instance of being in a workplace and then in a sense being drugged and not knowing how you're going to get home, all these different things. Like what if she would have she says like what if she would have passed out in the car, what would have happened?
Yeah,
And then like on the way home, like what could have happened if she like didn't know that they were drug cookies or drugged snacks or whatever, and would have went home and knock
that's
on wood, could have
what
drove
happened.
into something. Hmm?
And like, I mean, I'm not asking like what
No, you
happened.
no, you're good.
I want to know all her details, and I want to be like all up in the all up in the mess or whatever, or
Let me find it because I want to read the whole
But she
thing.
doesn't mention it. She doesn't mention the details of that night, other
Yeah,
than
no.
it was the worst night of her life, and that she blacked out. Her friends were looking for her,
Yep.
and that she was called in the morning to apologize. They apologized to her. So that's what I'm saying. Like, did anything else happen? And I'm not asking to know per se, but I'm asking because if is it worse than what we think? And if it is worse, then how bad does it get? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like it yo, if there's other things that need to be said to bring even more light to an even more grimier situation,
Mhm.
like uh, it can be really, really sticky, I guess, between her and them. And he said, she said.
Yeah, because she names two people
Hmm.
in this letter. Jay Salim,
Hmm.
EVP and People and Culture, and Armin Walia Walia, some Senior Director of Social Media. I'm sorry, I'm butchering her last names because I don't know how to pronounce her last names. But she mentions them, the toxic workplace, them there being people taking credit for her work,
Hmm.
And so she talks more about the
She was
Armin
more really
situation.
like she was like the scapegoat.
Yeah.
They either told her she was the person who they pointed the finger at when shit
Mhm.
was bad,
And when
and
things went
she was
well,
also the person that got no credit
yeah,
when shit worked.
she wouldn't get any credit if something worked. She talks more about Armin. She mentions Armin a lot more in this letter.
Yeah.
Because that's somebody that she works kind of directly with. That they don't work. She said they don't work directly together, but he is the overseer of the work that is done. Um, and says that there's a lot of she was, like you said, like she was the person they pointed the fingers at, and when they would criticize work, it was always her work. um, she does mention that there are other women that have the same issues, but she doesn't mention them by name and doesn't want to speak for them. um, I'm trying to find, because I want, if you guys can understand how small this, like how much this
Yeah,
is,
it's very
how
it's,
much
it's
text is in this.
compact. Yeah, very
um,
compact.
Okay, here it goes. Sorry, here it goes. Complex is not only an unsafe space emotionally. Again, this is Tiffany Wine's open letter to Complex. Complex is not only an unsafe space emotionally, it's an unsafe space physically. On April 2nd, 2019, while working after hours, I unknowingly ingested drugs in the form of cookies that were left out in the open. The company has a strict policy of forbidding drugs in the office, a rule that could have protected me if it was actually enforced. What followed is one of the most traumatic experiences in my life, accumulating and blacking out on the way home. Oh, I'm sorry. So I missed said it in the beginning.
So she okay. So she
I thought she was saying that she could have, but she actually did. She blacking out on the way home, and my friends spending a harrowing night searching hospitals and calling police looking for me. On April 3rd, Solemn called me from his personal cell phone and apologized profusely, saying he had reviewed security footage and assumed full responsibility, and blaming the oversight on two artists that had been in the office that day. I was allowed the week off, but when I asked for an announcement to be made to the rest of the company so others could be made aware, nothing happened. And what happened to me was swept under the rug. I never felt safe in the office again. So that's one of the that's one of the more detailed
Mhm.
experience she gives about working at Complex. She talks about her work as well being undermined, and her work being taken care of for. Um, yeah,
Yeah, it's
Complex is another one that falls under this. They are they are they are they are saying to the public they are for black people and they're here to help and support black people, but we have another instance of a black woman, and this crazy thing is it's always black women. Another black woman coming saying, "Hey, what they're saying to the public is not what's going on behind closed doors."
yeah because and I thought about this. They don't have any black woman anchors, do they?
No, at Complex, they have the Nessa chick on what's that what's that what's that show with academics, Janessa or Janessa,
Oh,
whatever's Anessa or something
I
like that.
forgot that was complex.
What show is that?
I don't
Something.
TBH IDK.
Yeah, I forgot the name. It'll come to me. But yeah, she's the only black woman I've seen that
Yeah, and then everyone else is a male, if that.
male what it's literally it's literally the same old for every company basically. Of they have these black women that are behind the scenes doing this work, but not up front. Like, come to find out, they're not even being heard in the workplace.
Yeah.
It's, for instance, this story. Like, this is a terrible story to hear and find out that's happening in the workplace. A woman blacking out on the way home from some shit that was left out from artists or whatever the
Yeah,
situation is.
it could have been very intentional.
Like, who knows? Like, she, like, thankful that she didn't, but she could have died.
Yeah.
She could have died. Something could have happened. Somebody could have grabbed her. Like, who knows what could have happened? And then, like, her saying, like, her friends not knowing where to find her. like a hospital, all that stuff. Like that's insane to me. And it's the same for me to find that out now. Like for us to find that out now, and her having to basically, in a sense, because she says like basically says get fired in
Mhm.
a sense, and to be able to tell her story, and we still to at this point don't have any response from Complex,
Mhm.
so we don't know if they're going to respond, what they're going to say, all this stuff. But
How do you not though, bro? Like you just how do you not? Um, even if you don't, even if okay, let's say you're really unaware that she put this out,
mm,
she's not gonna be the only person after the matter to
yeah,
point it out and tell you and bring it into your face. Obviously there's tons of tags that are happening now.
mm,
Obviously Complex and all of those social media pages, they read their comments, they reply to
yeah,
them all the time.
yeah.
So like, how do you not?
Hold,
Um,
hold on one second. Hold that thought. Hold on one second. Let me take this call real quick. Um, I'm sorry. Where were we at? I apologize.
um, shit. We were
We were
talking
talking
about
about Complex and
just like I was just saying, like, how do you not, address the situation,
yeah,
um, given who you are and given the fact that um you're clearly very much about you're very much aware of your social media presence,
yeah,
something you try to maintain every fucking day, obviously.
yeah,
So for something of question to come towards you via social media, um I think it's kind of obvious that you are putting it off.
yeah,
If it hasn't happened within the first 24 hours, then either you're ignoring it or you're really, really, really trying to watch what you say
yeah,
as a response.
definitely. And I think that's a sad time we live in. And I want to say to all the people, whoever watches this, that has that issue or is going through that. I'm sorry that you have to go through feeling like you're not heard or
Mhm.
you're not being represented by the company that is supposed to be supporting you and says that you are a value member to the team, and still you don't get treated like it. In this case, Tiffany didn't get treated like that, and I would really want to I really want to hear Complex's response. I don't know how. I don't know when if they saw it yet
Yeah,
or if they've gotten like
we
anything.
need the red receipt.
Yeah,
Where it at?
I thought that they would. I thought that there was something that would have been said right now. I thought that they had saw it because they had went live,
Yeah.
but then come to find out they had a
Peter
open late.
Rosenberg and the Migos.
Yeah, they had open late. So
I was, I was
that's what I
watching
thought.
because
Yeah.
of course I commented nothing crazy. I just kept commenting her name.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not a lot. I did it twice.
Yeah. No, yeah, no. I
I did it
like.
twice.
Hmm?
Oh no, yeah, go ahead. No, I just did it twice as a reaction to see if, not necessarily if they read it, but if someone else read it.
Yeah.
No one else did.
Yeah, I don't know how much traction it's gotten so far.
Yeah,
They haven't responded about it, so I'm guessing they either haven't seen it or they're not putting out anything anytime soon. By the next episode, I do hopefully they will have a response because I would want to know like
yeah. It's
what the
it's
hell.
definitely still not fair for us to only
Yeah,
see on one side.
yeah. I always will listen to a black woman and hear her story, and this story is not hard to believe um at
Not at all.
all in any sense. So I know, it must feel like I'm thankful. I'm glad that she got this off her shoulders and was able to tell her story. And from what I've read in the comments, people are very supportive and are being very helpful to her for it.
Mhm.
And so I'm glad to see that. And I want to, and the only reason I want to see Complex's response because I want to see what their take is on this, because if this is somebody that has works with some people that are seems like very high positions, this is not something that they can't say, oh, well, we didn't know.
Mhm.
Because if there's multiple cases and there's other people saying, yo, I have the same experience, but they don't want to speak out on it,
Mhm.
then who knows how long this has been going on, and
Yeah.
how many other people, how many other women have gone through this.
No, most def. I think
So yeah.
I think just right now, hopefully these individuals, if there are more, which um I'm not I wouldn't be surprised if they are, and I know for a fact that there is.
Yeah.
Um I just hope that in light of everything, they can find some sort of motivation and kind of a safety net.
Yeah.
And just like the I don't want I don't want to say courage, because it's not what they need.
Yeah.
They need comfort. They
Mm.
need reassurance. They need to know that people are listening. And that's what I was going to get at, is I hope that in light of everything happening right now, they would feel like this is their time.
Yeah. This is definitely, yeah, I feel like I feel the same. I think that this is the perfect time
Hmm.
to come out. Like, there's a lot of people here to support.
Hmm.
Uh,
Across the board, not even just at Complex,
yeah.
at any
Yeah.
company in
Definitely.
that's in a situation like this, or just even just if it's one individual, you never know who is listening and which one of your coworkers has that same experience as you.
Yeah. And I feel like this, to kind of end this off, I would definitely end this by saying, um, if somebody comes to you and says something's happening, listen.
Hmm.
Um, there, I have seen so many weird things happen in the world that if somebody tells me something that sounds impossible, I'm still gonna believe it, because I've seen crazy shit happen in this world.
Hmm.
And the one thing I do know, and I've seen personally, and um I've seen how a company reacts, is I've seen women be mistreated in the workplace. I think we've all at least heard of it. We
Hmm.
know somebody that's gone through it.
Hmm.
Um, and so I think this is one of those times where black people are being mistreated, that you need to listen to black people. Just listen, shut up and listen.
Hmm.
But also, when women are speaking about their experiences and their stories, and telling their stories and telling what they went through, shut up and listen. Um, because I can only imagine if this happened to my mom, or this happened to my cousins, or
Hmm.
this happened to my aunt,
Hmm.
or if I had a girlfriend, if this happened to my, like I would lose my mind if like any of them came up to me and was like, yeah, so like if I found out that they were drugged at work,
Yeah.
and maybe unintentionally, of course,
Yeah.
but at the same time, if you're a company of that stature, you
Borderline rape culture, bro.
yeah, you need to know what's going on. And if I found out that one of my family members was drugged and blacked out on the way home, and I don't know where they're at, yo, I'm turning that company upside down. Like, there is no complex after that. Like,
Yeah.
and I feel that's the same with anybody. Like, when a woman, because a lot of women are coming out now and saying that their stories weren't heard, and you're finding out about things
They've
that
already said it before.
they never wanted to talk about, because they either felt that their voice wasn't going to be heard,
Hmm.
or they were silenced.
Hmm.
Listen. If you listen, we would have a way better world, because then we wouldn't have these situations where your companies that you guys uh have built this relationship with wouldn't happen. You would be able to look at it non-biased, because when Kixology, because so I found it through Kixology, because she had retweeted it, and she was like, "Are we canceling Complex?" And there were people in the comments that said, let me hear what Complex has to say. And it's like, that's not the response you should see when a
Hmm.
woman is telling you, yo, I blacked out leaving work because the job I am employed by, that pays my salary, didn't uphold the rules that they expect me to do every single day. Like, there's people in that workplace that mistreat me for on my work and take credit for my work, and you guys will never know it because those people have that much power. And you're like, we'll see. Like, I want to hear the story. Like, no, that's not your response. The response should be that Complex should be held responsible for whatever wrongdoing they did to her,
Mhm.
because that is nobody, like, nobody just decides a whole year and a half later, you know what, let me make up some story about me being drugged at work and blacking out. Like, who does that?
Mhm.
And like, so for you to for people to
There's no
comment,
personal gain from her to do
yeah,
this.
and for her, for your first response to be, I want to hear what Complex says, it's irresponsible to you, and you're not doing her any justice. um I say I want to hear Complex response because I want to hear what they say, because we have a show that we do that we have, that I would want a
Yeah.
full story. I want a full
Mhm.
story on what happened. But at the end of the day, regardless of the fact, until she's proven wrong, I believe her.
Yeah, so do
And
I.
at the end of the day, I want her to feel safe, and I want the women at any workplace to feel safe.
Mhm.
And if you're, I would be the worst. I would be exactly the men that she hates, or the men that have done her wrong at that place, to say, well, I want to hear Complex's story first before I believe it, or
Yeah.
before I say anything, or before I cancel anybody. Like, no,
Yeah.
if that's how Complex is operating, I'm not fucking with Complex.
That's the mentality that keeps the cycle going, really.
Exactly.
Um you as an individual should automatically feel a certain type of way when you hear her side.
Yeah.
Whether you agree or disagree, you shouldn't it should make you feel some way.
Yeah.
I'm not I mean, obviously I'm not supporting those that disagree with her,
Hmm.
but I'm saying if you're one of those people that disagree with her, then let that be your answer. Don't don't just completely ignore what she just said by saying, "Well, now I want to hear them."
Yeah.
Like, nah,
Or
dude.
be or
It
because I like sneaker shopping with Complex, I wanna watch. I can't really fully be on. Like, no, you can get, like, there's so many other people out there that do the same exact thing that you can
Mhm.
support, that don't have this issue. Like,
Exactly.
that's my biggest thing, is like, if Complex is doing, like, this is not if this is not some this is sounds like this is something that is culturally going on in their company,
Mhm.
and I will stand on it, is fuck Complex. If that's the case and that's how they're operating, fuck Complex. Fuck
Yeah.
everything that they do and say, because of the fact that we've seen it. We've seen Everyday Struggle. That's the name of the show. Uh they with When Joe Budden was on it, he talks
Yeah.
about, the shit
And they
that goes
phased
on
them
in it.
out.
Yeah, they talk about that shit. They talk about how he was somebody that brought that show to light and was like, "Yo, we're gonna do it this way, and this is how it's gonna be successful." And see them phase him out to the point where he's like, "Yeah, I'm just not coming back. Like, I'm good." And
That's actually very, very true.
yeah, and then you see that uh uh I don't know her, Nadeska, whatever her name is. I'm sorry, I don't know her name, but she's had her own little issues with people coming at her because they treat her less than at that show and at that
Mhm.
company. She's come out and say that. And
Mhm.
so, of course, this is not a one and off thing. This seems like this is what their culture is. So if that's the case, fuck Complex. Like, that's the easiest way to put it. And I think that, I want to hear what Complex has to say, but at the same time, like, I just want to hear it because I want to be able to get a full picture of what's going on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I would rather hear more of the women work there than I would want to hear a Complex response.
Yeah.
Honestly, if we're
'Cause
looking at it, like,
they're going to take a company standpoint, so it's always going to be avoid, avoid, avoid.
yeah, and so,
They're never going to be the yes, that happened.
mhm,
And if they do agree with these individuals, they'll word it to where they'll just say, you might have been wrong, you might have been right, but we're not going to say you're wrong.
yeah,
And then you get into those things, and those, if anything, are more a little bit more backhanded.
mhm,
But like that's just like, what? Like, no, dude, you where are the consequences? Where's the accountability? Where is the right way to do these things, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Complex. Don't get me wrong, man. I grew up on Complex, and I've seen it
We all
grow.
did.
And yeah, and you know, I wanted to be that dude and wanted to blah 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 this and that. But if it really boils down to this is how they are, this is their foundation, this is how they function. Then yeah, bro, that cancel culture really does need to come into play and really shut out these platforms on these companies like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely.
That's
Yes.
we're
It's
living in a weird time right now. Like we're living in a time where a lot of stuff is coming to light. A
yeah, and
lot of stuff is
it's
coming to light.
unfortunate that not everything is going to get rounded out. Not everything is going to get touched on. Not everything is going to get fucking assessed and situated and given a solution.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we gotta like, and I'm not saying we, like me, I'm a part of it,
Yeah.
but like just in general, like it just needs to be a just like, bro, we're in it already.
Yeah.
This part of life has started and we're weeks, months into it, and there's no ending to this until there are improvements.
Yeah.
Is really
True.
what's gonna happen. So yeah, it's just gonna be one of those things that get added to the list, like we said earlier, and I just hope it doesn't get forgotten.
Yeah.
That no one gets a pass because there's too much going on.
Yeah.
That. There you go. That's what it is. I'm just hoping that no one gets a pass because there's so much going on.
True.
Yeah.
That's yeah, that's the best way to put it. I honestly believe. Um yeah, so I think that like I don't want to go into any more of that. Like I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to kind of because we've covered a lot and
Yeah.
it's a lot of
It's one of those episodes today.
yeah we've kind of had those episodes twice in a row.
Yeah.
um so yeah, this is kind of just what's going on in like these are the conversations that I saw and wanted to talk about
And
as
they're
the
gonna
weeks
be
went on.
consistent conversations, bro.
Yeah.
Like this is the world we live in now. You know,
Yeah. And
every
so yeah, if this is not this content that you want to hear, I'm sorry. Like, but this is like really we're I'm not here just to say, hey, go look at those great fives. Like, no, we're gonna talk about everything.
yeah,
And everything that affects us in the culture as well, because this shapes our culture. You
yeah,
know, complex crumbling because of this, that's gonna shape the culture.
it
Like
really is.
this is not like one of those
That's
it's
gonna
not
be
one
at
of
the
those things
top,
like
baby. We gonna be at the top, baby.
yeah, but it's like that like complex is like you said is one of the things that a lot of us grew up on.
Mhm.
We saw complex
That
from the starting phase of it to now where it
those are
owns
like
so many
those are
things.
scary, bro, to reflect on. Like, okay, you never once thought Complex would be that company, and
Yeah.
all these companies and the companies that are like that, their main priority is to obviously not give off a public image that they don't agree.
Yeah.
That's it. That's where like fucking R&D teams and like PRs and like all
Hmm.
this, like it's just crazy that they really do have a job,
Yeah.
and you see it really works. You know, they're really good at their job because they're able to give off this public image and you know all is dandy, but day in and day out there's so many internal struggles and so many internal problems
Yeah.
that we clearly have never heard of, and we didn't ever hear anything prior to this really.
Yeah.
um so yeah, it's just a trip when you really just start thinking about the little pieces that could have gone differently, that may have
Yeah.
altered this, and this probably could have came out of in 2012, 13, 14, whatever the
Yeah.
case. It's just weird, man. It's just like, man, how
It's
much ugly is there really out there?
oh a lot. A lot. You joke about like, oh yeah, I'm like you joke like you have like that joke about like you're not wearing pants. Like that's just literally is like a lot of people like when they
Mhm.
do these things, it's like, yeah, it's all nice up front. What you could see, yeah, it looks great. But you don't know what's
Exactly.
going on in the bottom half. You really
Yeah.
don't know what's going on,
Yeah,
you know.
Got crocodiles chilling over here.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
That's
over
just,
here feeding my goats. Yeah, I don't
yeah.
know.
And so yeah, it's it's rough, and time is going to, like, over the next couple weeks in time, like,
Mhm.
yeah, this is going to be a lot to go on, especially if a lot more women start coming out with their stories about Complex. It's
And dudes,
oh yeah, yeah,
if
of
there's
course,
dudes out there, if there's
yeah,
a, you know, anyone can be a that person.
yeah.
Uh,
So um, yeah, so let's get to the shoes.
okay.
Let's get to the shoes.
There's
We're gonna
shoes.
run through this. We're gonna run through this quickly. We're gonna run
All
through
right,
this quickly.
I got
So
I got you on the timer, bro. All right, go.
yeah, so uh, Jordan 3 pullback. Well, I don't know how true it was, but there was an announcement that Travis Scott was getting a Jordan 3,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was said
They
that that
tried to
report was false.
yeah.
Um, do you want to see a Travis Scott 3? And if you can, what?
No,
No.
I
Okay.
don't want a Jordan 3.
You don't want to join through Travis Scott?
Mm-mm.
Do you think he'll just make a mocha
Um,
looking one?
it's not that I don't want a Jordan 3.
Mhm.
Um, and it comes back to the same thing from many years ago, like 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, whatever, when
Mhm.
Jordan Brand put the Air Jordan 3 on ice, basically saying that they weren't gonna retro the shoe for at least
Yeah.
5, 10 years. And every time I see a 3, that damn article pops up in my head, like, what happened? Like, why are you telling us these things if it's not what you're gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, Jordan?
You don't
So
think but
that's just
you,
how I feel about the Air Jordan 3.
oh, okay.
You know,
So you don't want to see
I
Travis
don't
Scott
want
with
to
a
see
3?
more Jordan 3s because they told me they were going to give me more Jordan 3s.
So then
That's,
I will say I'm curious. I would be curious to see what he would do with 3. I think it would just turn into like a mocha looking one. I'm pretty sure he would do something crazy with it, but like I feel like they
Mhm.
would just give him like the mocha color palettes.
Bro, there's no real direction to him.
Yeah.
Like, he has an aesthetic and he has a vibe, but like his fours were all blue.
Mm-hmm.
His Air Forces were all sail.
Yep.
His Air Max 270s look like they've been fucking hiked in for 2 months.
Yeah, the used Air
His
Maxes.
Jordan 1, his lows and his highs, they match, but they're two different shoes and they're reverse swooshes, and then they have like different padding, and then
Yeah.
it's just a different shoe. What else am I missing? Travis Scott,
Sixes
the sixes. Come on, bro.
look like
And
some
then
cargo shorts.
that's a green shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just there wouldn't be a colorway that I could really think that, like, to me it's impossible to pinpoint what would be next.
Okay.
There's so many colors out there, and he's literally done every color differently that there's
Give me
just,
a pink. Give me a pink Jordan 3 Travis Scott. That's all I need.
if I was getting something from Travis Scott that I really wanted,
Mm-hmm.
would be those motherfucking purple Travis Scott fours.
Those things are beautiful.
Okay, so if you're
Those
gonna
things
give
are
me a 3,
beautiful.
give me a purple 3.
Okay. Oh, purple 3 would look
Yeah,
nice.
I need some purple. I think purple's a color that really like just speaks to the type of person that he is that he
Mm-hmm.
hasn't used yet.
Okay.
I think purples would be good. Maybe some neons.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, not necessarily like a green, but like an orange or a blue or a red. Like they also
Okay.
have neon highlighter
Yeah.
colors. More like blacklight colors.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh
You know
yeah,
what
that would be
I'm
dope.
going for?
Yeah,
So that'd be
that'd be dope.
sick.
That would
Uh,
fit for his tours too.
yeah, it matches the whole aesthetic.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I wouldn't really know what to expect.
Okay. So then you won't like this next one. Thoughts on the Jordan 3 SC
I
denim?
actually really like that, Jordan. I don't want to see it, but I
You
really like it.
yeah, I saw it, I liked it. I like this amount of denim.
Yeah, it's
I
a very
like this
subtle
amount.
amount.
This is perfect amount. I
Yeah,
don't like the denim all across. Like you like those denim LeBrons. Those just are ugly.
All right, you guys, bye.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Those
just
things, those
shut
things are ugly.
the screen. The LeBron denim 10s with the pink,
Yeah,
I can do.
those are ugly.
The LeBron denim 11s with the blue,
Ugly.
there's a no go. Why'd you even produce those?
Yeah, all I have a denim like meter, and
Mhm.
this is like right there. Like this is perfect, like spot on perfect.
Okay.
Not overtaking the shoe, but
What
like
about like the
right.
denim? What about like the denim Air Max 90s?
That's a kind of perfect. Yeah, I like that. I like that amount, sorta,
Oh,
kinda.
my neighbor just came out with some. This motherfucker is about to go smoke, and I saw the pizza in his hand, bro.
Yeah, he's vibing.
He is,
He's
man.
vibing. Does
That's
he live by
my
himself?
dude, bro. Nah, he doesn't.
Oh, okay.
But
So,
but his mom's is in she in Mexico right now.
oh yes, he definitely vibing.
So
He's
he
definitely
live.
vibing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he living.
yeah. That's what we all used to live for.
Yeah,
When the
right.
parents left, and he was like, "Oh, like,
Oh,
huh,
pizza time.
what can I do?" No, but yeah, I think I think Air Max, it's like okay amount of denim,
Mhm.
like it's not like, but it's still one of those like
Oh, my
it's still
brightness.
kind of a little bit more than I would want.
Okay.
A little bit more than I would want. A little bit less. Take it off the well no, because then that would take away from the
It
shoe.
literally wraps around the whole shoe.
Yeah. I was
Uh,
gonna say take it off the toe box, but I was like that would take away from the whole entire shoe for
yeah,
me.
it would look kind of weird,
Yeah.
but it would be kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. It'd be like it would remind me of like all of the Ronnie. How do you pronounce his name? Ronnie
Fart,
Feig. Feig.
fart. Yeah.
Ronnie.
Something like that.
Yeah, all his A6 collabs like the salmon toes.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay.
You could emulate that same aesthetic with the Air
Yeah.
Max 90 if you do yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing some
Those
more
threes are
pictures.
dope. My most favorite aspect is the back tab,
Trying to
but
look
I
at
don't
pictures.
like that they use both. So the back tab, have you seen it?
No, I'm about to look at it right now.
So the back tab is translucent, and under the tab it's Nike Air, and then the tab itself, the overlay is molded. The Jumpman is still there, but because it's translucent, they colored the Nike, and the Jumpman is translucent, so they overlay.
Mm.
So it reads Nike Air, but the Jumpman is still
Oh
there.
yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That is
Yeah,
fire.
yeah, right. It's a cool little like, well, I don't know, little switch up, I guess.
Yeah, I like that. I'm fucking with that.
Yeah, it's a cool little. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Jordan. I see what you out here doing.
But I'm definitely waiting. I'm definitely waiting for them to go on sale.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
see these going on sale really fast too though.
yeah. I hope so
These
because I want
these
them,
seem
but I
like these
don't.
will be slept on.
I don't want to pay that retail.
Yeah. Okay. So that is we'll jump into releases and
Was
then
good.
let's get into releases. So gas or pass.
Releases. I got.
I only did two. No, three. Sorry, did
Yeah.
three. Um, let's start with the Nike Be True collection,
Mm-hmm.
the Air Forces, and
It's
the
that the sandal model, right?
yeah,
I like the forces a lot.
you showed the Forces.
Those forces are hard.
Yeah, they look really dope.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh, the other kicks, I like the colorway. Maybe I think it
mhm,
was done right for what it was.
yeah,
But I mean,
they use a lot of black in this
yeah,
collection.
I'm
Yeah,
not picking that up though. Not
yeah. No,
for the
I'm not a big Air Force One person like that. So I like them, but I wouldn't get them, but I definitely say gas for the
mhm.
Air Force.
Yeah.
The collection as a
Ronnie.
whole, pass. There wasn't anything like really stood out. Probably the Air Forces were probably the one that stood out to me the
Last year's
most.
collection was a lot better.
Yeah, way better, way better.
Yeah, those two
Um,
seventies from last year were hard.
bro.
Oh no, 720s. Yeah, the 720s, the ones that it's the whole rainbow
Mhm.
on the upper.
The dude, the guy that worked on that collection last year. I'm
Oh
still
yeah,
trying to get him on the show.
yeah. I remember that.
Don't worry, guys. It's work. I'm going to get him on the show. I promise you.
You heard
It's
him.
going to happen. Next up, the Jordan 5 top threes.
It is.
Gas or pass?
They were very gas. I'm upset that I didn't wake up to cop them, but I also saw that they were still available late in the day, so I
Oh
figured
yeah,
I'm hoping I can snag them at a decent price.
they'll be at champs for 169.
Yeah, bro. But those from last year are so
Yeah,
hard.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like them. I really do. I really do. They grew on me at first. I didn't like them. But I will say that I think I like them only because they're a cheaper alternative to the black metallics. Because black metallics went up in price,
Mm.
and I don't know if I want to spend that. So I'm gonna get these top threes
Yeah,
instead.
yeah, I like them. Ranking overall for the top threes so far out of all the top threes I've dropped.
Is my second favorite one.
Sorry for everyone.
Because there's
So
only
for
three, right? There's the
yeah,
ones,
it's
the
the
fives, and the
ones.
fours.
The yeah,
Yeah, so the ones that are first. mm, Part of me likes the fives more than the ones because they're both the same shoe.
yeah.
Um, but the ones were just dope. Uh, which I got a story for those. So I think I'd put the fives at one,
Mhm.
the twos. I mean the ones at two, and then the fours at dead last.
Okay. Yeah, I would have the ones. That was probably the first ones I seen that I actually wanted. At that point.
Mhm.
So the top three ones definitely number one, fives number two, fours. I didn't really like at all.
And then
I didn't like the execution on them.
I don't know how technical you want to be, but the top three ones have two different colorways.
Hmm.
So it's the red, the one, the obvious, the top three,
Yeah.
and then the black and gold shoes. Those are
Oh
also
yeah.
the top three gold or whatever. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
I've
that
I haven't I haven't seen, wait, have I seen those?
yeah, it's the complex ones. Remember that came out at Complex
Oh
Con,
yeah. Okay.
but at
Okay.
Complex Con, the Complex Con ones aren't top threes because they're the same shoe.
Yeah.
The and then the version is the top three.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember. Who had these? Somebody had got these. Where did
Yeah,
I see
the
this?
the top three NRG.
Yeah.
Damn, these hoes hit 400.
Mm.
God damn,
Mm-mm-mm.
man. Here we go. Shit. Yeah, this is a hard ass shoe.
This is a crazy show.
Um, man, these. Yeah, so these are the top three
Yeah.
gold, y'all. Yeah,
Yeah. This
the
is a
hot shoe.
fire.
Then the Complex Con one, you'll see that they're both like the gold toe one.
Mm.
So they both have gold toes, I think.
Yeah. Um. Okay. And then last on the list, the Nike Air Max 90 Supernova,
That's
aka Galaxy.
the new Galaxy one, right?
Yeah.
Um, when
I
I
saw
first
when
saw
they first
them,
announced them, and I loved them when I first saw them.
I really, 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 really liked them. And then as I realized that they were going to be released in the middle of all these other shoes that I wanted,
Mm.
I subconsciously told myself that I didn't want them anymore.
you you psyched
But
yourself out of them.
yeah, but it wasn't because I didn't want them.
Mm.
Hold on, I'm reading this article. I guess the ones that you showed me
Those were released at one place. Those were
were the complex
2017.
combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I'm a little confused, man. I don't know which one's which. But yeah, I told myself I didn't want those
Mm.
because they were in the middle of everything else, and I figured um I'm gonna have to cut the trees somewhere, bro. So that was one of them.
I like them. I think they're dope. I'm not a big Air Max 90 person,
Yeah.
so um,
Yeah, shout out to my cousin who I'm gonna show y'all.
yeah, we'll see Cephalo showing them
He actually
when he comes back. We'll see
fucking
Cephalo showing them one
Sabo.
time.
Yeah, he copped yesterday. He showed them to
Oh,
me.
word? Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
those
pretty
things are
dope.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Those
they're
things are
really dope.
beautiful. Mm-mm-mm.
Oh yeah, it's a tough
Um,
issue.
nah, but yeah, so it is nighttime
It's a
now.
gas. It's a gas.
Gas, definitely gas. It is nighttime now, as you can tell from Gabe's camera, and then I turned on
Yeah.
my lights. We have we
What
have
up?
we have potted till the late evening. Um, I honestly don't know how long this pod. I checked the thing. It looks like it's only gonna be like 3 hours, but yeah, I think we only done like
The
3 hours.
floaty hand guy.
Well, we've gotten to the end of
Parking
our
lot.
podcast. Um, I would like to thank you guys for watching and listening. If you guys please check out our last episode, episode 16.
Yeah.
We talked a lot about what's going on in the world, as well as we talked about like the looting in the sneaker stores and all that stuff. So if you guys want to get a little bit more background on that, definitely check it out. Um, to all of our Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcast listeners, thank you guys for listening. If you guys want to see the visuals of what we're talking about, please go to our YouTube or our website, www.unlaced.family, and you can check out the visuals. That is where you could see the podcast through video. For
Yeah.
everybody that's watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. If you want to watch this on the go, you have Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts.
Always
Go
download. Listen.
download them, please. Yeah, go definitely download them. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Definitely comment. Let us know if there's anything you guys
The
want us to
thumbs
talk
up.
about. If there's anything you guys
Thumbs up.
want to see. Yeah. Let us know. Well, what would I want you guys to let us know about? Let us
I'm
know.
sharing with you guys my pinky. You see that?
Oh, what's going on with that? What
See that right
happened?
there? There you go.
What the hell happened? Oh, Jesus. My boy got an indented pinky. Jeez. Did you break it as a little kid or something?
I think I jammed it playing basketball. See, look,
Mm.
see how it kind of.
Oh, that's nasty. That's nasty. That's nasty.
What do you mean,
That's
fam?
nasty.
What do
All my fingers are straight.
you
I
don't
don't know
have
what it
basketball
means.
fingers, bro. Like, and
I've
you
jammed
played
my fingers so
basketball.
many times, but I've never. They haven't started going crooked.
Yeah, that's my only one that's like that.
Oh
See,
my gosh.
it just naturally does that.
Oh, okay. God. If you guys are listening, I'm glad you guys don't get to see what this pinky is ridiculous.
Oh, I also found this out. This is another blooper.
What?
So like here's all matte flat, right?
Mm,
And then on this side, when I do this, you see that little bump right there that popped out,
yeah.
right? Hold up. How
Right
do I?
there, right there. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. What is
I don't know
going
what that
on?
is, but it's pretty
Yeah.
pointy.
Gabe is slowly but surely an affected person and turning into a
I'm
monster.
deteriorating, bro.
Yeah, it's over for you.
My skin's
Um,
falling off the bone.
yeah, but yeah, so definitely check us out.
Mhm.
Please follow us on all our social media, Unlaced X Podcast, Unlaced X Threads. If you want any of the new releases of shirts that have come out, we're only actually the only shirts that you can get right now are friends and family and
Bro.
our hats. Please
Yeah.
go check it out, www.unlaced.family. There is no .com. The .com is family, so www.unlaced.family. Check us out. Let us know what you think. If you guys have purchased with us, please post it, share it with us so that we can, reshare. Gabe has been
Yeah.
definitely showing you guys off. We appreciate all the support that you guys have shown us so far.
Sir.
Um, and yeah, so it's gonna be a short week because
This
we're shooting
fucker
this on
might
Sunday.
have gotten some more Grubhub
Oh gosh,
because
he's
he
just.
for sure walked. He might. Oh nah, he got more goons, bro.
Oh yeah, he having a party.
He's coming with the brewskis,
He
bro. I
got the
seen
party. Are
it.
you going? You gotta pull up. Like, yeah, what's up?
Nah,
What's
I
up?
ain't going. I ain't trying to be in that coronavirus ass room.
Damn, you can't just pull. Yeah, what's up? What y'all doing up here? Let me get a
I
puff
don't
real
see no
quick.
fucking face mask being utilized, bro. That shit better be around your chin at least, bro.
I'm
Like,
pulling up. I'm
show
pulling
me,
up.
show me that you're at least consciously aware.
I'm pulling up. I need that. Yo, we got the pizza too? Yeah, I'm up here. I'm bringing a bottle.
Damn.
Nah, but yeah. So thank you guys. Definitely check us out.
Neither.
You guys we will be yeah. hopefully we can get Jazray on here. We're gonna talk to Captain Barlos about being a gatekeeper. But yeah, until then, you guys have a great week. Yeah, have a great week, and we'll see you guys next time.
Cut. All right, man.